all I'm saying is, nigga, you always got something to say. It's like you don't shut up.
On the track.
A lot of niggas died 1865. Single Michael fled high, I ain't gon' let it ride. Everybody hollering black was never on your side. They do maps to tell your apps where you sleep at night. They put that white man on. Got you begging them for answers like that white man know. Had you swearing you was African, that's that white man home. Had you proud to be a savage, that's that white man's zone. And I ain't talking shit, this by definition. And being savage was our nature, y'all be non-existent. We done took your ass out when we was in them kitchens. Instead of showing you how to live and how to maintain business. White supremacy fake. Only way that shit real is if you do what they say. We the God to the gate, so when they say they fear God, now you know.
See my life has been in motion, I'm a little windy. I'm not giving up yet. If you with me, time to place up your bet. Ain't no turning back, got niggas who ran. When we caught his ass, got caught in that jam. Yeah, you know who I am. Yeah, you know who I am. I can feel it coming. I can feel it coming. It's that feeling in your stomach, you can feel it coming. It's that feeling in your stomach, you can feel it coming. Yeah, you can feel it coming. Fake love, snake you in your face, love. That snake you in your face, love. I told my brothers we gon' make it, that's how God wrote it. And the snake gon' show his face, cause that's how God wrote it. Too much fake love, that snake you in your face, love. Your face, love. That snake you in your face, love. I told my brothers we gon' make it, that's how God wrote it. And the snake gon' show his face, cause that's how God wrote it. Too much fake love, that snake you in your face, love. Your face, love. That snake you in your face, love. I told my brothers we gon' make it, that's how God wrote it. And the snake gon' show his face, cause that's how God.
Niggas died 1865.
Yeah.
I got a nice build for you guys today. Y'all see the title. Y'all see the title. Share the live stream. Shout out to all my American Aborigines and my African brothers. Let's get it, y'all. Share the live stream.
A lot of niggas died 1865. Single Michael fled high, I ain't gon' let it ride. Everybody hollering black was never on your side. They do maps to tell your apps where you sleep at night. They put that white man on. Got you begging them for answers like that white man know. Had you swearing you was African, that's that white man home. Had you proud to be a savage, that's that white man's zone. And I ain't talking shit, this by definition. And being savage was our nature, y'all be non-existent. We done took your ass out when we was in them kitchens. Instead of showing you how to live and how to maintain business. White supremacy fake. Only way that shit real is if you do what they say.
Suave on the track.
Whatever it takes. The alleyway.
Coco, this your season right now.
They won't see me. They won't let me I gotta sleep with one eye open, tripping, making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the stirrup. I know the odds wanna murder. I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid. I won't let them, they won't see me, I gotta sleep with one eye open, tripping, making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the stirrup. I know the odds wanna murder. I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid. I can't let them, they won't see me, I put attention, all of my blood, all of my veins. They started with perky, now that hair by numb is veins. You started with serving, now them drugs drove you insane. Started with dealing, I grew up with killers, they taught me the game. I got some niggas that die behind, and that shit won't never the same. I know some niggas that lie behind, and that bullet had his name. Ain't no reason to cry about, cause that shit won't never change. MTF the 4th and P, my niggas can't get out the game. I gotta sleep with one eye open, tripping, making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the stirrup. I know the odds wanna murder. I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid. I won't let them, they won't see me. I gotta sleep with one eye open, tripping, making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the stirrup. I know the odds wanna murder. I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid. I can't let them, they won't see me.
Lost, see, I glossed to it, shit ain't.
Yeah. time's low. When you move like God, the time's slow. I came back for the blacks and John Doe's. Crack open them land patents, let go of them townhomes. What's a native to a native? He $5 dough if he not melanated. Pale faces got you waiting on a savior. Sending prayers up, he texting back on vacation. Yeah, God's children. Give all your praise to Jesus, but how God feeling? He say put no one before him in divine image. It's you with God of Christians. I got a vision, but niggas ain't gotta listen, so they don't. We came from the soil, wasn't fucking with no boats. Bible took our spirit, English potted on our homes. Tribal families turned on us, don't act like y'all don't know. But fuck them and they grudges. We was something turned to nothing. And now we nothing's turned to somethings. Reincarnation of ancients, fresh up out the oven. This the message to the black man. 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 Shooters on my roof, lawyers in the coop. We can never die, bitch, we bulletproof. This the message to the black man. This the message to the black man. Say you wasn't slaves, you was prisoners of war. And stop wasting your time, these other bitches ain't important. You ain't meditating, you ain't mating with the sauce. Like what the fuck's a noodle if you ain't painted with the sauce? I find it hard to trust the pastor who rather side with the master, who preaching we should submit while getting murdered and captured. About how we should wait on God is never our vernacular. They get
Suave on the track.
Whatever it takes. Alleyway.
Make sure y'all drop them fire emojis in the chat. Let me know y'all can clear your brother Aboriginal Power. Peace and blessings to everybody in the chat.
They won't see me. They won't let me yeah. I gotta sleep with one eye open, tripping making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the strap. I know the odds wanna murder. I got a feeling deep my stomach, paranoid, yeah. I won't let them yeah. They won't see me, yeah. I gotta sleep with one eye open, tripping making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the strap. I know the odds wanna murder. I got a feeling deep my stomach, paranoid, yeah. I can't let them yeah. They won't see me, yeah. I put attention, all of my blood, all of my veins. They started with Perky, now that hair right numb his veins. You started with serving, now them drugs drove you insane. Started with dealing, I grew up with killers, they taught me the game. I got some niggas that die behind, and that shit won't never the same. I know some niggas that lie behind, and that bullet had his name. Ain't no reason to cry about, cause that shit won't never change. MTF the 4th and P, my niggas can't get out the game. I gotta sleep with one eye open, tripping making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the strap. I know the odds wanna murder. I got a feeling deep my stomach, paranoid, yeah. I won't let them yeah. They won't see me, yeah. I gotta sleep with one eye open, tripping making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the strap. I know the odds wanna murder. I got a feeling deep my stomach, paranoid, yeah. I can't let them yeah. They won't see me, yeah.
Lost, see, I glossed to we shit ain't been the same. Heard the ops talking to the feds, giving names. Who gon' feed my family if they take me out the game? Keep one in the head and one eye open, that ain't change. I'm quick to catch a body. When I shoot, he shoot, I know bro shooting right beside me. Them hollow tips go through the wall and then they hit his body.
Hey, before we get right into it, I want to say peace and blessings to everybody in the chat. I want to say peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. Hey, before we even get started, we're going to play this next little jammy jam. I need everybody to hit the like button. Y'all see the title. I need all the Aboriginals, all the FBA brothers and sisters to tap in. We're going to get it cracking. Let's go.
Freedom ain't free, it ain't legalized. Can't be told, it got to be realized. Freedom ain't free, it ain't realized. Freedom ain't, it ain't legalized. Realize. Freedom ain't free, it ain't legalized. Realize. Freedom ain't free, it ain't legalized. Realize. Yeah. Slavery was a long time ago. How? Same motherfuckers still here right now. Colonized on our own land, they're ahead of us. Changed our name so much, they scared of us. Children of the sun, y'all don't compare to us. Pale-faced people, this ain't y'all area. Talking about America, pale-faced people, this ain't y'all area. Even if the playing field, bitch, I'm dying. How you a victim, bitch, you a Karen. Cognitive dissonance, you don't need sperm. You got white privilege, so you don't need sperm. Looking at my homeland, man, I can't believe her. Colonized came here, they ain't never leave her. Indians ain't die all off cause we here. You ain't gotta lie, just say you won't be here. How you American but not indigenous? 400 years still ain't get rid of us. All Europeans, naturalized citizens, made all the Indians niggas on the census. 1492, we was on the fences. Civil rights movement, we was so defensive. Black Wall Street, whites got so offended. Common law rights gave us amendments. Thank God don't speak truth, that's alright. First slave 1619 was all white. 1200 wasn't no continent, all white. Europe named after a black woman, alright. Grafted, it come from us, do your research. Go within, quit listening to the teacher. And the Nuki got voice coming out the speaker. Cut our trees down and made us weaker. Really they foreigner, the shit gets steeper. Whites don't know where whites come from either. I'm Aboriginal, we come from the ether. Ruling over us in our land, that's evil. Being colonized right now, black people. Prisoner of war, that's why it ain't equal. Wake up everybody, don't be no sheep. Freedom ain't free, really freedom is illegal. And we can't get mad at this. Whites act like we can't see their advantages. Privilege is real, they working in management. Low down dirty, but they calling us savage. They want you to think they above us. All white people are part-time judges. I ain't no racist, but I ain't no sucker. I ain't no African, but they my brothers. Then lied to, I got built up anger. You built everything, still waiting on the savior. Don't call yourself black, please do me that favor. Black tourmaline will protect you from a hater. Listening to your oppressors is dangerous. Gave us the Bible and stole our nation. Said we couldn't read, but we didn't know the language. Kept us on paper because we didn't see the danger. American Indian, keep the religion. Skin copper color look just like a penny. Wanted our land and you called us stingy. Ain't no Democrats there to get pay attention. We got ancestors, but the papers is missing. Kings and queens, you can't remember. Remember who you are, just like Simba. Now they got a vax, we don't want that enters. George Washington is the ninth president, look it up. United States only 10 square blocks, look it up. White people really the minorities, look it up. Courtrooms don't got authorities, look it up. You want me, say stop governing me. Gave me a straw man, it's really not me. Why you don't keep it 100 with me? Why Trayvon killer still walk around free? Made this song for the truth, don't hate it. History was told in reverse, I've stated. Please still oppress, somebody gotta say it. I'm taking out of school, that's the reason I made it. History, it's his story. History, it's his story. History, it's his story. History, it's his story. That ain't my story. History, it's his story. It's his story. Probably ain't your story. History, it's his story. It's his story.
All right. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. We back. It's another fire live stream for you guys. Y'all see the title, man. Y'all see the title. Should we use the word FBA and swap the word black with Aboriginal? That's the title. Y'all see the title. So what y'all think, man? You know, to me personally, I'm not here to argue. I don't like the term black. I've used to use the term black, so it ain't like it's something that I'm not familiar with. I find a more exclusive word that best describes who we are. And there's hundreds of thousands of words and descriptive terms in the dictionary. So the job is to find something that best describes you. I'm not saying Aboriginal is the end all be all game. I'm just saying it best describes me here in America. The word Aboriginal means first inhabitants. Since the beginning of time, or from the beginning, is what it's saying. So if we're foundational and my ancestors built this land, why are we not the Aboriginal? I also hear people say, well, yeah, a few Africans came here, a small percent, and they mixed in with the Aboriginal people and dominantly used Aboriginal culture because allegedly these Africans were stripped of their culture. So if they were stripped of their culture, stripped of their folk ways, stripped of any acknowledgement to where they are, they only going to acknowledge and adapt to what they got and what they have presently, which would be Aboriginal culture. So from the time Africans did step foot, if they did, which is skeptical, they was practicing Aboriginal culture. They didn't have no culture of their own. They didn't even have no recollection of the continent or country they came from. These slaves was not talking about, oh, they took me from Ghana, they took me from, no. A lot of these people was already coming from the islands. Shout out to my brothers and sisters in the islands. A lot of these people was coming from by way of Canada or across west of the Mississippi for those that was getting enslaved in the east. See, the Aboriginal people here was enslaved, or is what I like to call POWs. Some say, what is a POW? That's a prisoner of war. That's exactly who we are as Aboriginal people. We must stand on who we are. A lot of people saying we should not use the word black. We shouldn't use the word black, but we shouldn't bicker and complain and nitpick when some of our brothers and sisters do. Either you're gonna be a guidance, either you're gonna help be a leader, or you're gonna help be an educator. It takes experience, it takes wisdom, it takes patience, it takes understanding and looking at shit from both sides. You got to put your feet in their shoes. And a lot of you guys is recently just coming from out of their shoes. You was just in their shoes claiming black or black mixed with Indian. No, we didn't mix with Indians. Black people, Aboriginals is not trying to separate themselves from Negro culture. We are one and the same. We are not a mixed heritage. We are the same heritage. We just choose to identify with a particular term that's comfortable with me. You use the term that's comfortable with you, which obviously is the word black, which obviously some of our brothers have a problem with it. Some of our brothers have a problem with black. I don't really argue with it. Do I agree with it? No, I don't. I don't have to agree with everything that you do or that you know what I mean? All you guys, as long as we on code and we have the same understanding. You might like purple shirts. I might not like a purple shirt. You know what I'm saying? You might like football. You see what I'm saying? I might not. You see what I'm saying? So what we got to do is stop the bickering and complaining. We got to really stop the bickering and complaining. Honestly. Shout out to Elijah D for the Cash App donation. We appreciate all the support. Anybody want to support the channel? Links at the bottom right of the screen. Shout out to Elijah D for the Cash App donation. I believe we got another brother that supported the channel as well. Let me shout him out as well. Shout out to Think Meaner. Think Meaner sent the Cash App donation as well. Shout out to Think Meaner for the Cash App donation. So yeah, man, I see a lot of brothers and sisters in the Aboriginal community was hating on me. I was the first brother in the community that was actually pushing Tariq information, promoting them, understanding that getting on code with our brothers and sisters, no matter the ideology. So I see a lot of brothers and sisters is now, promoting and supporting Tariq, which is a good thing. I'm glad I'm able to bring that to the table for you guys to use. You see what I'm saying? I'm glad I'm able to rub off on a lot of you Indians and Aboriginals. Some of the Aboriginals and Indians do not like the FBA movement. They call it a scam. They say my FBA brothers and sisters is scamming. I say that's bullshit. Prove it. See, I stand up for the truth, not for bullshit. And I want to kind of get into a conversation that was held yesterday in the space. And shout out to my brother Booby. Shout out to my brother Booby. He held a space yesterday. I kind of want to piggyback off the conversation. Let's get into it.
Away from that and just focus on your tribe. And I'm saying, no, it's not just about being, your tribe. It's about connecting your tribe to being Black American, because how will I know you're a Black American if I don't know your tribe? So, right. Yeah, I just feel like,
See, a lot of these Indians is attacking Tariq Nasheed with, no, we should go to use our tribal things. We should use our tribal terms. No, your tribal terms are going to have you separated from everybody else. A Chickamauga can't be a Cherokee. The Cherokee can't be the Muskogee. The Muskogee can't be the... Do you see what I'm saying? These are already separating terms. Once you started diving into the tribe shit was put here by Europeans. We dealt with nationhood. We had many different ideologies within the nation operating together to make sure the large body is whole. That tribe shit comes from Native Americans. A lot of these Indians, Black Indians, think that Native Americans have their culture when they don't. They don't have nothing to do with us. They don't practice our culture. My grandmama didn't sit outside no TP. She didn't run around with bear skin on, dancing around with no goddamn socks and shoes on. Not my grandmama, not my granddaddy. They built shit. They worked on engines. They farmed. They built houses. They thrived in their community. They wasn't doing this Native American culture. My ancestors never practiced that. And a lot of our people are confused after coming from the Black identity or the African identity. They're looking for some type of verification to this Indian concept, to this Aboriginal understanding, and they look for the people who's classified as Native Americans today, and they go to them. They go to their powwows. They look at them. They try to mimic them. They throwing on beads and feathers. They hugging trees and slapping rocks. That's not our culture. That's not our culture at all. So I just wanted to make that clear. Let's get back into the conversation at hand.
And I'm seeing how a lot of people they're more, making the focal point about your, what is your tribe, right? And just forgetting about, it seems like they want us to just go away from being Black American. This house we built, all this shit that we built, just go away from that and just focus on your tribe. And I'm saying, no, it's not just about being, your tribe. It's about connecting your tribe to being Black American, because how will I know you're a Black American if I don't know your tribe? So yeah, I just feel like, they're hijacking what this movement was about 2 months ago. Like when you was in that space and you was frying motherfuckers up, you was like tearing up, like you was going in on them not being us. That's what this was about. It was about us securing our tribe. And I feel like now, after like the fire has kind of sizzled down a little, you got these tethers trying to shoehorn their way in and take it away from what it was about initially. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the thing is, when we as foundational Black Americans, the minute we start acknowledging our tribe, because we are a specific tribe and we are a specific ethnic, and now that we've acknowledged that, you got all of these other people, they've turned into de facto genealogists, they've turned into scientists, they've turned into archaeologists. All of a sudden, they want to start talking about DNA, genealogy, fossils, hair samples, sperm samples. Now they want to get into science. If we get into science, like I said, it's very simple. Everybody's lineage will go back to Europe, Africa, or Asia. That's for everybody. That's too broad. We as foundational Black Americans, we are a very distinct group. Tribal groups and ethnic groups come about in many different ways. When you look at certain Native American tribes, usually these are different federations of Aboriginal people, Mongoloid Indians, Aboriginal Black Indians coming together and being labeled and named by colonizers to a certain degree. When you look at the Navajo Indians, that's not their real name. That was a name given to them by the Spanish.
See, he confused on what he talking about to a certain extent. But he's right, though. The Aboriginals is not Native American. They're not Native American. That's the key part. I want y'all to listen to what he's saying right there.
Asia, that's for everybody. That's too broad. We as foundational Black Americans, we are a very distinct group. Tribal groups and ethnic groups come about in many different ways. When you look at certain Native American tribes, usually these are different federations of Aboriginal people.
He said different federations of Aboriginal people. You see what I'm saying? Mixed with Native Americans, which that's very rarely. That really didn't happen. When he say mixed with Native Americans, he means the $5 Indian that's running around portraying as a Native American. Y'all. But like I said, they talking about the Native American, man. When he say that we mixed in with the Native American, he's simply talking about the $5 Indian. Our people don't really mix with natives and Asians and Mexicans like that. You see what I'm saying? And the people that was running around dominating these tribes, getting the benefits, creating these Cherokee languages were white men, portraying as Indians. Chief Sequoyah was a white man. That's who created the Cherokee language. And they run around portraying our the Indians and Aboriginal culture while misclassifying and shaming away the true Negro who culture it is. Okay?
Africa, Asia, that's for everybody. That's too broad. Foundational Black Americans, we are a very distinct group. Tribal groups and ethnic groups come about in many different ways. When you look at certain Native American tribes, Usually, these are different federations of Aboriginal people, Mongoloid Indians, Aboriginal Black Indians coming together and being labeled and named by colonizers to a certain degree. When you look at the Navajo Indians, that's not their real name. That was a name given to them by the Spanish. I think Navajo means thief or something like
that. Yeah, and Navajo is a dominantly Mongoloid tribe.
That the Creek Indians, and I
put it like this: the true Aboriginal people of this land. I just want to make this clear: the true Aboriginal people of this land, honestly, had their culture taken away from them. So if you still practice your culture and have all your language, then you're not the indigenous people that was set out and was POW and enslaved here in this land. See, a lot of people don't understand that the true indigenous people here was put in slavery. They was POW. Their culture was stripped from them. So if you still have your culture, you're not the people who all this happened to. That means you're a Johnny come lately. You're somebody who was placed here and was allowed to thrive with your culture. True indigenous people of this land had their culture took away from them, and the deprivement of that, we created our own culture. We created our own culture, natural culture that just came. What I'm saying is they deprived us from our indigenous ancient cultures, and we created new culture. We was POW. We can't deny the fact. We can't deny that fact. And that's what we struggle with. Us as Aboriginal or so-called FBA, we got to understand that we trying to get power. We trying to make sure when somebody recognizes us or identifies us or look at the classification that's put thrown on us, it's a strong, it has meaning behind it. And I believe the word Aboriginal has a lot of meaning behind it. A lot of people gonna say, well, a lot of people of Aboriginal people from South America is going to try to get on. No, because it's not just about the term. The term doesn't get you on code and reparations. The term ties you to who your people is. And then from that, you can do your background on your lineage. And true Aboriginal people of America, North America specifically, lineage goes back to what we would call POW servitude or slavery. That's a fact. That's a fact. And we got to realize that. You see what I'm saying?
Before, there was no such thing as a Creek Indian until the white supremacists saw some Native Americans.
I was just telling y'all that tribe shit is from white people. Now listen to what he's saying.
Different ways. When you look at certain Native American tribes, usually these are different federations of Aboriginal people, Mongoloid Indians, Aboriginal Black Indians coming together and being labeled and named by colonizers to a certain degree. When you look at the Navajo Indians, that's not their real name. That was a name given to them by the Spanish. I think Navajo means thief or something like that. The Creek Indians, and I pointed this out before, there was no such thing as a Creek Indian until the white supremacists saw some Native Americans living by a creek and said, hey, you guys are Creek Indians. There was no such thing as Seminole Indians until the Yamasee and other indigenous people and people who were enslaved went down into Florida, got with the lower Creeks, and became the Seminoles. So different ethnic groups form by other groups getting together. We are no different from that as foundational Black Americans. People keep trying to Africanize us. That makes us comparable to other immigrant groups. We are the only non-immigrant group here. That makes us extremely unique. Nobody can compare themselves to us. And when we start looking at just not our African lineage, but our indigenous lineage, that becomes a problem.
It really does, because they have so many talking points that they can tie themselves to from this out of Africa, you coming by way of ships. They can still tie it back to there. But with the Aboriginal part of your lineage, with this indigenous rooted Antanchan, right? Antanchanist, right? Look up the word Antanchan lineage, part of your roots, they can't do nothing about it. We're literally the founders. The soil is ours. This is our shit, literally. And haven't been anywhere else. And this is something that we got to start coining and taking pride in. Start embracing your Aboriginal roots. Aboriginals are Black people, quote unquote. They're melanated people, quote unquote. They're Negroes. You shouldn't have to use the word black when you use the word Aboriginal, because Aboriginals are not white or mixed people. You can't be an original mixed person. So we know that the word Aboriginal, right, deals with original people. Original people comes in one complexion or various shades of a complexion. Let's keep it clear.
Because now we have a claim to the land that nobody wants to talk about. When we start claiming this land, which is our land, let's be very clear, we're not guests in this country as foundational Black Americans. This whole narrative that we were brought to America, we were not brought to America. We built America. That's a real big difference. That makes us indigenous to the United States because we built the place, ladies and gentlemen. We are not comparable to any immigrant group. We have a very unique heritage. We are different from other people, and that's just something that they're going to have to deal with. They know that we're different because they have all types of negative and pejorative terms that they use against us. Now that we look at our lineage and our uniqueness as something positive, now we're not letting ourselves be invisible for some type of fake melting pot narrative that we're the only ones upholding. No other group upholds this melting pot diversity narrative than us. We've been holding that up, and everybody has been exploiting that for the last 200 years.
And that goes for those, Central America, South America, those Caribbeans, because I'm noticing now that we're saying we are the indigenous or the Indian, now you got those tethers from down in the Caribbean trying to shoehorn the same thing the Africans did with Black American. Now I'm noticing like they're starting to do with us saying that we're, foundational Black American. They're trying to get in by saying they're indigenous and they're Indian, so they're us now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we have to actually start, delineating. Like the lines have been drawn, and we're not erasing those lines.
Okay, can we let her speak? Since I'm here. This entire
and this is not just about her, so it's not just about you. So don't make it about you, please don't.
You've mentioned.
Hold on. Let me put some clarity real quick. It's really real quick. The thing is really because of the American Indian thing. They want us to drop.
Shout out to my boy Booby.
Black and just identify as American Indian. And basically, how I see it, it almost is no different from African American. Because if you go American Indian,
at all,
you latching on Central America, South America, Caribbean, it's no different.
Can I?
Now I'm gonna let you respond.
And that's what I noticed.
I just want to put that out there, that you can respond.
All right. I've listened to y'all for the past 15 minutes. Okay. All right. When I came into your space, all right, and let me make this clear. Twitter Spaces has been going on since November. All right. Hold on. Let me speak.
You see where it's going, right?
Let me speak. Let me speak. Come on. Let's be respectful. We're going to have a conversation. I made an American Indian room back in November. This is when Twitter Spaces was in beta trial. Wasn't enough people on Twitter Spaces yet because it wasn't on everybody's app yet, right? We was already on Clubhouse doing this stuff. We was already on YouTube doing this stuff. I assisted the chief, Top Cat, because like I told him, I have an American Indian story and I do have a West Indian story. Now, I'm going to come around you and talk about my American Indian story. I've always made that my focal point because that's who raised me in this country. My West Indian family are in their country, as they should be. My American Indian story is documented by New York State. We have our own website. Documented. We have our own town. Documented. We are the Puspatuck Indians that mix with the Mohawks. Documented. I wanted to tell my side of my history because a lot of people don't know about the quote unquote Black Indians of New England.
See, when you're using the term Black Indians and all this, anybody can be part of that. East Indians over there by goddamn Afghanistan are the darkest people on the planet, and they're literally called Indians. Or do they get a part of the conversation? No, we got to stop using certain terms. Aboriginal people comes with the term or the melanated and descriptive term already within the word. The word Aboriginal applies you to a land. It gives you a date, and it applies with descriptive terms a part of it. So it's a very strong word, y'all. I'm not arguing with any of my FBA brothers and sisters. I'm not telling them to drop black. I'm just saying we can update our vocabulary and use a word that's more suitable, right, for us. Okay, I'm not opposed to my FBA brothers and sisters. Shout out to y'all. I rock with y'all. And shout out to my Aboriginal brothers and sisters. I rock with y'all. Some of y'all still think that y'all are Indian still. This wild Indian, crazy Indian, we gang, Indian gang, you know, all this shit. No, tribal, that's Native American talk. That's Native American talk.
And how we went through slavery too. And how we went through paper genocide and the
Aboriginal people went through slavery. That's why I'm explaining. She going in. We went through paper genocide. Shout out to my brother Trey Ali. He got a song called Status. He goes into detail about paper genocide. The paper genocide meaning we was classified as Aboriginals. We was known as our nations. And then we had moved to color. And then we moved to, you see what I'm saying, Negro. And then we moved to black. Now we African Americans now today, all of a sudden. All by paper, eradicated. It totally almost dismantled us from history. From paper, not physical. We're still here. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. We got 217 in here. Can we get 400 people in the chat today? I'm gonna need everybody to share the live stream. Be a little bit over the 30-minute marker. I'm gonna need everybody to hit the live stream. Right? I'm gonna need everybody to hit the live stream, share the live, thumb up the video. Let's get it.
And grab too. We went through that too. So my grandmother and her story don't get told either. So what I did was take my opportunity. And right now I'm pregnant, okay? So I really didn't have to start doing this stuff no more. But I continued because I saw the awakening happening. I believe in what Top Cats is doing. I didn't mind. I don't have to share my lineage with nobody. This is personal for me. But I posted pictures of my ancestors. My ancestor was one of the first Harlem Globetrotters, a Mohawk Indian. I am a part of the, what you call a foundation. There was a foundation here before the European even came here. Because that Constitution, that come from my tribe people. We were on those first treaties in the 1600s. We are our first contact nations up here. We got hit with the bullshit first. So I felt it was time to tell the story about the quote unquote Black Indians of the New England area. This ain't had shit to do with the West Indian side. Y'all kept making it about that. Every time I came in your room, y'all kept talking about
she's not getting anywhere.
What about your husband? What about your West Indian? I said, well, what about
hey, I gotta respond. Let me say something real
quick.
Like,
I never mentioned her husband. I don't know why I never mentioned her husband one time. Like, why she been bringing that? Why you bring that up?
Because y'all talking about me without saying my name, but y'all saying my name all over Twitter.
We're not getting to the point, though. Get to the point, please.
Hold on. I just want to keep this professional and just straight to the point because I don't really want to waste nobody good time on a Sunday, and I got my brother Flex in here. Flex, the only thing, so just to boil everything down to you know, and make everything digestible, we shouldn't have to drop black, you know what I mean, and be FBA or be American Indian.
Okay, so let me explain this, and I'm gonna finish up right here. Inside the indigenous community, we have a different type of conversation. I understand that. And even the last time I came in your space, I said it's probably going to take time for us to get to this point. Because the indigenous conversation, we're trying to get back sovereignty. So it's not just about reparations. We're trying to get restitution so we can get our land back.
Who was the first person talking about restitution in the community? I just want y'all to know that. Shout out to that sister. She been listening to Big Al Power. Shout out to her. A lot of them have. All of them listen to me.
It's deeper than
this platform set down the standard.
I hear you. Can I say this though?
Bro, like you guys.
We hear you, but you missed out something. It's also about gatekeeping. It's about us gatekeeping. It's not just about reparations for us. It's about gatekeeping our culture.
Okay, but
and you're missing that.
You can get. I don't want your culture. I have my own tribe. I don't want it.
Just don't leave that out. That's why you articulate your perspective.
See, this tribe stuff gets them confused. See, it automatically got them in a separated mind state. And this tribal shit was put on us by Europeans. That's when the white man started becoming Indian. When he paid $4.99 to get down on the Dawes Roads and to become an Indian. Remember they was paying $4.99? $4.99? Yeah. That's what they talking about. See, they confused.
Let me say this.
Nobody's trying to take the culture. What
a lot of these brothers don't know what they're talking about.
This the thing, man. The genealogy aspect of it, man, that we brought to it was to help out the claim, because FBA and ADOS had a reparations claim. So in order to help that out to see exactly what was owed to you, we asked that you do your family genealogy. Not necessarily even if it tie you back to an Indian tribe, because the Europeans that came here were black. It was different melon. The Spaniards were black. They were in Florida, Texas, Louisiana. I know because they were my family. So that was the only part of the genealogy, was to help identify your claim, what was taken for you, so you can know what was owed. That was it. It was simple. You don't have to drop the black.
And we respect that. I respect that. Like I'm 100% behind that, bro.
Hold on, bro. This conversation going somewhere with, bro. The point of this conversation was about FBA dropping black. This really what this was about. Should we drop black? Yes. About everything else about Jenny. I mean, we do all that. We understand that, but this was about dropping black. And we're saying we don't have to drop black. We shouldn't drop black. Just so other people can pick the shit up. It's like, that's what we're talking about.
That girl.
Exactly.
That man told us to drop black, but she gets to keep her Jamaican heritage.
I'm not.
How
is a heritage the same as a race?
My recording.
Black is a race.
Black. You told me to drop black. And you claim
I didn't tell you nothing. I never talked to you. I never.
Black is a race for Black American.
Hold on, family. I don't want to turn this into love and Twitter spaces. Let's just cut down to the meat and potatoes.
Told us to drop black. She claims she can make.
Hey, let me say this here, bro. I'm gonna speak for the American. Let me say this, Mel.
And like I said, the brother Top Cat still got a lot of learning to do, because he's still so on this American Indian tribe. You know what I'm saying? They gonna run into Native American culture. That's not our shit. You got to learn how to track down your true lineage. You just can't be Black European, Black Spaniards, and all this shit, and American Indian, and African. Can't be all this, all in them. That ain't even really possible. That shit didn't even happen like that.
It's crazy, though.
It's no dropping black, bro. When y'all asked me to come over here, y'all was foundational Black Americans. I came, bro, because I identify with being a foundational Black American. When the room jumped out, I was there. You feel me? Y'all don't have to drop black. My cousin's black, my family black. All of us in this motherfucker got families that identify with black. We don't have to drop that, bro. That's coming from me, bro. And we move on as a family.
No, bro, Big Chief and Shan, this is nothing personal. Listen, this is not about you. This conversation of blackness been going on.
Shan ain't saying what he's saying.
Hold on, bro. This conversation of blackness been going on, dealing with the Moors. Everybody saying it don't have no standing in law and all that shit. This conversation been needed to happen. Shan, this is not about you. This shit been going on. So you just came on to Twitter and started, I guess, whatever, it feels some type of way, but this is not about you. This is nothing personal. This is a conversation that needed to happen. And we saying we shouldn't have to drop black.
Motherfuckers know when you say you black bitch or you black motherfuckers, motherfuckers know who they talking about. All cultures around the world would know when anybody say black people, they're talking about only the niggas in America. Facts. That's a fact. So technically we identify as that, but is it the correct one? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not arguing with our brothers and sisters that use it. I know that they call us that. I know that we answer to it. I know that the globe, when they say black people are lazy, they're not talking about black people in Africa. They're not talking about black people in Australia. They talking about niggas in America.
If we go to American Indian, we're going to include a whole bunch of motherfuckers that don't need to be included. It's really that simple. That's all we saying. That's why FBA is perfect. It's specific.
That's why Tariq don't use the term American Indian when he say that the Africans mixed in. He don't say the Africans mixed in with American Indian. He said the Africans mixed in with the Aboriginal people here. The word Aboriginal already, the people, all Aboriginals around the planet is black. So you ain't got to say black. So when you say Africans, we already know what color Africans is. So we ain't got to say black Africans. You see what I'm saying? So when they say this, we already know the description that comes with both ethnicities. That's why it's not good to use American Indian. I'm not arguing with our brothers that use it. Like I said, once again, I understand.
I don't understand how people not getting that shit.
Can I go? Because I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut.
Hold on, let's go ahead.
Yeah.
And I agree. When we shouldn't drop black, if we start going with just the Native American or American Indian thing, that's going to include all of the white $5 Indians. The American Indian thing, that has been completely co-opted at this point. Every white person claims to be some type of American Indian at this point. Almost every white person you meet who's been here for a certain...
I swear to God, the only Indians I met, like in real life, the only people I heard that physically say that they Indian is white people. They're like, yeah, man, I'm Cherokee. My grandma was 1/8 and blah, blah, blah. I'd be like, damn, you only see white people. They literally done took over your tribe. And these motherfuckers don't look a lick of Native American. Don't look like they got no Asian features. Bitch be looking like Jim Carrey talking about they Cherokee. For real. $5.
Amount of decades, they're going to claim they got some type of Creek or Cherokee. So that's already spoiled. So we shouldn't even touch that. But we do acknowledge that we do completely co-opted at this point. Every white person claims to be some type of American Indian at this point. Almost every white person you meet who's been here for a certain amount of decades, they're going to claim they got some type of Creek or Cherokee. So that's already spoiled. So we shouldn't even touch that. But we do acknowledge that we do have Aboriginal lineage. But us using the title...
You hear how you say Aboriginal. You can't even argue with Aboriginal. That's why my name is Aboriginal Power, because being Aboriginal in this land is power. Facts. You see what I'm saying? That's just the facts.
Type of Creek or Cherokee.
The
so
first.
That's already spoiled. So we shouldn't even touch that. But we do acknowledge that we do have Aboriginal lineage. But us using the title of American Indian, that's a dead issue right now. The FBA thing is the way to go because we've locked it up and nobody can remix it. That's why so many people have a problem with it, because it's a very exclusionary title, which is what we should have been doing. That's specific to Black people who were on these plantations in America. Nobody can remix it. We were aggrieved as a Black group and we need to be compensated as a Black group. It's just, it's that simple.
Can I go now, please?
Go ahead, Shannon. You got it.
Thank you. Thank you, Tariq.
And I agree with Tariq. You see what I'm saying? We got deprived and we was classified through Black, Negro, colored. We need to get compensated for all that. And the Aboriginals was classified as all these terms. Can we get me? Can we get mines? Can we get our shit? You just allocated $13 billion to Ukrainian fucks. Can we get our shit? We just asked them for 20 trill. 20 trill. And we'll work out the rest of what we should get annually every year. 20 trill though.
And the whole Sonny, Booby, and Big Chief, shout out to Mel. What I wanted to say is that I've been noticing with Black, even FBA now, there are people who have been so entitled to our culture that they are now treating this like it's some type of membership or like it's some type of club. Like they are not getting that this is a lineage. You know, we had a conversation with someone last night who was saying, well, I was adopted by FBA, so that by default makes me an FBA. And then, you know, we get these people to come over. Well, I was born here in America, so I technically I'm an FBA, and I'm just finding that to be a problem because they're not looking at the fact that our
That's true too. A lot of these blacks, a lot of people that's from the islands and Jamaica, Australia, even East Indians, right, could claim black. Their skin is dark as ours, and sometimes darker. Hell, East Indians, according to science, is the darkest people in the planet. They can easily say they're black. A lot of people can say they black. If you're telling me the whole world was originally that, then everybody can claim that. We got to narrow it down to a specific group of people in a specific location.
Lineage is or our culture is what it is because of the very, very specific experiences that our ancestors went through to create this lineage. And I just find that to be very, very dishonest and very disrespectful when people come over here and they treat our lineage and our culture like it's some type of club they can join without their people having to put in even half the work that our people had to put in.
Yeah, that's them finessing. They know very much what we're doing. They know good and well that it's a lineage because we keep explaining that it's a lineage. The problem is because we're on code, and that's the power of being on code, nobody can do anything about it.
Right, no matter the ideologies. That's why I say FBA and Aboriginals, we all the same. Fuck what they talking about. Everybody else dick picking. Oh, you should drop the black. We should not the same. Blah, blah, blah. Fighting against. No, these my brothers, man. I'm not allowed to have it. I'm the voice of the Aborigines, and I stamp it right here. We the same. It only going to work. We all we got. Facts.
If you acknowledge your lineage and you are codified with other people about your lineage, ain't nobody do a damn thing about it. And because they're powerless to do anything about us being on code, they have to compartmentalize and remix what FBA is by talking about who can join, are their leaders. They're trying to act like it's some type of four-wall organization, knowing good well that it's not. So that's a desperation move from a lot of these people because they cannot do anything about us acknowledging our lineage because now we've made a power move. We did something that a lot of groups don't do. We've named ourselves. When you name yourself, that's one of the first steps of taking control of power. We've designated ourselves and we set the rules to who we are. That's a power move. And this is why we have so many eyes on us right now because they're like, okay, where are they about to go with this? Because when you start making moves like that, you start making decisions that's going to empower your group. That's why so many people are very nervous now. All of these people who are non-FBA, they're all of a sudden want to get on a kumbaya thing. Oh, we brothers, we all in this together. When you were the main ones calling us Akatas and Jareers and Abids and Yankees and all of these derogatory names. So now everybody want to get some damn act right. So they're just going to have to deal with us acknowledging our lineage. That's what it is. And there is no end game because we always hear that narrative. What's the end goal to this? Because what they're saying is they want us to stop at some point. They think that this is some kind of phase or some kind of trend.
That's exactly what. What's y'all end? Ain't no end goal, bitch. We don't plan on ending. This is a forever thing. Forever ever thing right here. This is not gonna stop. This should take a snowball effect across the globe.
This is not. This is a lifestyle. This is where we are, and this is what it is, and people are gonna have to deal with that.
And so, with that being said, man, a lot of people just gotta understand who we are as Aboriginal people, man. Seriously. They said there's no documents of an Aboriginal slave trade. Are you crazy, sir? The Aboriginal people got enslaved here, sir, by large numbers. Are you familiar with the Yamassees getting enslaved? The Pequot being shipped out? Sir, so many. The Shinnecock from New York region being shipped out to what the place we call New Amsterdam to help build that. Hell, the indigenous inhabitants from Seville, Spain. I mean, from the Haiti shipped out to Seville, Spain. Bro, like, hey, you might want to do your research, bit, bro, Kevin Hogan. You feel me? I'm gonna drop the link in the chat, man. Shout out to everybody in here, man. Let's keep this thing going. I want everybody to hit the like button, though. I want everybody to thumb up the video. I'm gonna drop the link in the chat. I want everybody to hit the link. I'm gonna give y'all a couple seconds to hit the link. I'm gonna play a little jammy jam. Y'all hit the link, man. Y'all come on. Don't be scared, man. Don't be scared. Come on.
See, my life has been in motion. I'm a little windy. I'm not.
Yeah. Hey man, all I'm saying is, nigga, you always got something to say. It's like you don't shut up.
On the track. A lot of niggas died 1865. Single Michael fled high, I ain't gon' let it ride. Everybody hollering black was never on your side. They do maps to tell your apps where you sleep at night. They put that white man on. Got you begging them for answers like that white man know. Had you swearing you was African, that's that white man home. Had you proud to be a savage, that's that white man's zone. And I ain't talking shit, this by definition. And being savage was our nature, y'all be non-existent. We done took your ass out when we was in them kitchens. Instead of showing you how to live and how to maintain business. White supremacy fake. Only way that shit real is if you do what they say. We the gods of the gate. So when they say they fear God, now you know what they made.
Yo. Peace. This is everybody in the chat, man. Hopefully everybody enjoying their grand rising. Make sure y'all hit that like button, thumb up the video, support the channel, all that good shit. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to everybody in the chat. Peace and blessings. It's your brother Aboriginal Power, man. What's going on, Don P?
Yo, what's good, man? Can you hear me?
I hear you loud and crispy. You pretty good.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I just caught the tail end of what you were saying, man. So yesterday they did a Twitter space talking about the question was, should we take? I think it was Mel, the same dude who did the Twitter space that's on YouTube. That's about 5 hours.
Yeah, the dude Booby. Yeah, I know Booby now.
Yeah, so he was like, yo, should we take black out of should we take black out of our name and just call ourselves something American, right?
Right.
And it was a whole big thing between, everybody who resonated with FBA and the people who resonated with Aboriginals, obviously.
Well, that's where it was confusing. A lot of them guys are still confused about their heritage, so they like to use the term American Indian, and then they want to argue. You know what I'm saying? They not see this American Indian term was a term that we try to put the rest a while ago. So a lot of these people that's using this American Indian term is new guys or people that's adapted to this Native American culture.
That's right.
So
it's not the same as the Aboriginal community. It's not the same.
You disagree with the American Indian term? I'm trying to get a grasp on where you stand on with things.
Yes, anybody can be an Indian, literally.
That's true. That was my issue. I remember when I first got on here, and I think the question, Chief Billy asked me. He asked me something along the lines of, "Would I be cool with us being called foundational Americans and taking the black out of our name?" And
right, because the earliest term of American applies with a descriptive of a particular group of people in America as well.
Right. Now, see, me knowing that, I told him nah, and the only reason why I told him nah is because the whole point of us making the term FBA in the first place was to make sure can't nobody just come in and remix the words and leech off of us. If I was to put foundational American, regardless of in the contents of what I put it in, I mean, we see it now. We got tribes, we got Native American tribes that'll come in and try to muddy the waters and muddy the conversation by saying that, well, I'm foundational American too, and I heard the term foundational white American. That's a contradiction of terms, according to me. You know what I mean? White people ain't the foundation of nothing, but in the system of America, under the thumb of white supremacy, You know what I mean? You know, the laws that they'll play stupid, and you know they got the advantage when it comes to getting stuff done. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm coming from with it. You know, I understand like what the term black stands for and why y'all, you know, why a lot of people's not
But
with that.
listen, but like I said, we gotta be real with ourselves too. Even though we rather identify as Aboriginal or quote unquote whatever term, the world recognizes us as black people.
That's a fact. And there's
So
not just that, but there's a culture that we built around blackness, believe it or not. You know what I mean? There's a culture, like I understand the
yeah, but
negative
so and I believe this culture is just a Negro culture in America. So whether you was classified as black at one point in time, or
right,
whether your people was classified as colored at one point in time, or whether they was classified as Negro at one point in time, so forth and so on, the culture was still being practiced. The influence was still being there.
right.
You see what I'm saying? No matter what classifications and deprivement.
Yeah, and you know what? And that's another thing. And it's not this is not the disrespect y'all. This is the probably give you the insight of what somebody like me be thinking when you know I hear the argument for why I don't like the term black. You know what I mean? Well, I can't say you in particular, but some other people who have more of a passion for the people who don't, you know, who's using the term black. It, it to me it correlates a lot with what these Moorish temple science dudes be talking about. You know what I mean? Like if I claim this, then basically I'm immune to certain. If I claim this gives me power, and it's like under the
No,
system,
I'm not gonna say that it gives you any power, man, or nothing like that. We're not
or
coming
so y'all don't believe that. So like when
but we know that all indigenous people has a certain birthright to their land. All indigenous people to their land have a
right,
certain rights that other foreigners don't, right? So when they take you away from your indigenous heritage, you don't have those rights no more. You see what I'm saying? So
right,
that's just besides the point. Then when I like the reason I'd rather use the term, which I'm not arguing with any of my brothers that use the word black for the most
okay,
part.
yeah.
I explain why I don't like it, and that's cool. You can explain why, and we keep pushing. I use the word Aboriginal because I feel like it best describes who I am.
Right.
See
Okay.
what I'm saying?
And we don't have a problem with that. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that's what it stems from. It's not that it's a two-way street to where foundational Black Americans have a problem with people using Aboriginal. If anything, you know, we resonate with that.
More and more in the vocabulary of the FBAs.
Yeah,
The term.
exactly.
So, and you notice that you ain't got to say so many words with it. You see what I'm saying?
Right,
There's a descriptive term, the descriptive characteristics that come with Aboriginal or Aboriginal people. You see what I'm
right,
saying? There's a date that comes with Aboriginal people, and then usually is often referred to a particular geographical location with these Aboriginal people. You see what I'm saying? Which gives
right,
you all the heightened things that you need to try to, you know, do what we're trying to do as Negroes in this land. We want what we want. We the foundational, whatever the case may be. We built this shit. You know what I'm saying? If you can find a word that sums up a lot of that shit without us having to say it, then you know that's what I kind of look at. So
yeah, that's dope. You know what I mean? Like I said, that's something we resonate with wholeheartedly. You know what I mean? We don't have an issue with that. It's just again like you know, a lot of people, I see that there's a lot of energy towards it's a lot of negative energy thrown towards anybody who's saying the word black. You feel me? And it's not you. I know it's not you. It's not coming out of your mouth. It's clear that you do disagree with it, but you know, you're a lot more diplomatic when it comes to, you know, your response when somebody says that. So I can appreciate that. But for all the people out there, you know, including the chat, whatever,
so
who
we can't be ignorant of the fact that your cousin on your mom or daddy's side identify as black, and that's your blood cousin.
right,
Got the same lineage as you, quote unquote, as the Aboriginal. So, you know, we know that these terms are subjective and semantics and could be tricky. You know, it's part of deception. That's why we got to coin, snap our own things and stand on it. So if that's what y'all coining, FBA, stand on it. You see what I'm saying? And we support it. You know what I'm saying? If that's what y'all doing, we can't argue with it. We can only lay out what our disagreements about it, and we gonna coin what we stand on. And we just, 'cause at the end of the day, we all the same people. At the end of the day, if we were to strip away all the terms, somebody got their mic open. If I was to strip away all the terms, I can still identify who my people is by observation, by action. Whether you had a term that you went by or not. You see what I'm saying? So whether you use a term or not, I can tell who my people is. So at the end of the day, we're not with the semantics.
You know what? I'm with you. I'm with you on that wholeheartedly, man. I agree with you. At the end of the day, that's all I'm looking at is for us to build together because we don't need just a separate tribe.
Getting on code, bit bro. That's what it's about at the end of the word. Some people call it unity. Some people call it coming together. Some people call it banding up. You know what I'm saying? Getting on code.
That's a fact, my G. That's a fact, man. But that's all I wanted to give my two cents on, man. I'm glad we came to a common ground on that. And at the end of the day, yo, that's what it's all about. Us building together. You know what I mean? So
yeah. We got a couple other brothers and sisters on here. We got Black Lotus. We got Corey. Corey, what's up, Corey?
What's up? What's happening?
King Victor. I see you keep unmuting. What's going on, King Victor?
Yes, sir. What's up, Ed?
You got some bad feedback. I'm trying to see if I can fix you. What you got going on? Everybody smooth?
Yes, sir. I just wanted to add my little 2 cents in. Hey, so I do a lot of legal research.
Hey, state your name. Hold on, big bro. State your name and where you calling in from today. Let the people know where you at with it.
All right, my name Corey, and I'm from Michigan. But I don't see my legal research in international laws, right, has taken me to how we self-identify, how we self-determine our political status, and all of that, right? There's a solution out there. All we got to do is get into international law. We spend more time debating one another about things that really it matters to a certain extent, but it don't. We need to get on one accord on what our identity is going to be. Then after that, we come together, we create our own nation, separate from the United States. The United States is the colonizer. If we are the Aboriginal indigenous people here, then they're the colonizer. They are the enemy. We got to separate ourselves. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Do you classify yourself as a Moor or a Moorish American?
No, not at all. I don't put I don't believe in religion.
Okay.
In my opinion, politics and spirituality, religion is completely separate. Although the point in politics is to protect the individual spirit in every human being. We're spending a whole lot of time on classification, but there is one status under international law, and that is human being. There's nothing else. If you don't claim to be a human being, then you can't get human rights. Fuck what's that shit we was fighting for here? Civil rights. Fuck that shit. Civil rights is not human rights. Human rights protect the human being. You have a voice as a human being. You can speak individually for yourself. We got to change the dynamics on how we do politics.
They didn't pay them Asian people for their enslavement because they was human beings. The Irish, the Jews.
Everybody. They all claimed the only way you can even argue on the international level is to be a human being. And to have your own nation. We don't have our own nation.
What the human being
never migrated here. See, everybody that migrated here.
Human being nation where everybody is a part of. Is that what you want? The human being nation?
No. What I'm saying is Those who we consider ourselves to be black in America. We don't have an identity on the world stage to speak for ourselves, not have someone
At
else speak
all.
for us. So
What do the
that's
world
what we have to do.
stage look at us as? What do the world stage look at us as? Like the Jamaicans, the Africans, the
Nothing.
Asians. What
Nothing.
do they look at us
Hold on.
as on the world
Nothing.
stage?
Non-existent. Nothing.
Hold on.
Non-existent.
That's a good
We're the
point. That's a
property.
good point he's making. That's a good
We
point he's
are a
making.
colonized people, so that makes us property. The United States Corporation owns us as property. That's where the term black came from. After
They found the people in the world know that we're a foundation to this land. We're
absolutely
indigenous
everybody
Aboriginal
on
to
earth
this land,
knows
and
that
they
this
call
is
us
where we
black.
originated from.
Now I'm asking you one question, brother. The world, as you was claiming, we need to be on the international level. They know us as two things: Aboriginal, indigenous to America, or foundational black people.
Indigenous.
So why not claim either one of them? If we're going to self-identify, why not claim them?
Yeah,
I
if
mean,
they give it to you,
we can
that
come
means you
up
got
with
an
any
option to choose
term. We
which
can
one you
say
want to
blue,
claim.
blue, black. Whatever term you choose to come together and
I'm going to ask
decide
you one
on.
more time, brother. My brother, the international world that you brought up, what do they look at us as and claim that we as? I'm not sitting and say they call us nothing. They have to call us something. What do they call us, brother?
Indigenous.
And blacks and foundational blacks.
No, I'm talking about under international law. Under international law, black does not even exist.
I'm going to ask you one more time, since you said that we can claim whatever we want under international law. What
You
do
can
the international
self-identify.
people call us in America, brother?
Well, they call us black.
Can I answer
They
that?
call us black.
Thank you. And indigenous to America, Aboriginals. Thank you. So what's wrong with claiming them?
Because black is a classification
You
under
said we can
United
claim
States
anything we
jurisdiction.
want, brother. You said
Just
we can
like
claim anything we
Indian.
want. You said we can claim anything we want under international law.
But listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. Under international law and under the United States jurisdiction are two different places.
We could change our
One
status
gives you
to
power, the
anything
other
we
one
want,
takes it
correct?
away.
Why would we take our status away from what now? I can understand we do something to make sure a political form, but how can we change what the world knows us as? Aboriginal to America, indigenous to America, and foundational blacks. Why can't we clarify that? I mean, self-identify as that.
We can. All we got to do is declare an international status as a nation.
So why is people up here really beefing with Tariq Nasheed and Aboriginal power, except for saying, well, they doing something good at unifying the people?
Because we are not on one accord as a people, man. That's why.
We on one accord. We just watching out for the snakes.
All I'm saying is there is a solution, and the solution is in international law. We need to pick up international law books. We need to focus on how to self-identify and govern ourselves.
Okay, we understand that, brother.
Well, we
We understand that,
self-identify.
brother.
There's a movement out here
What are
called
you
Black
doing in that
Foundation of Black
lane?
Americans.
What are you doing in that lane? What are you doing in that lane around those certain people you say you around, studying what you're studying to help us in that lane?
I have personally created a state right here where I'm at. Now, let me explain to y'all something about me. I've been out of jail. I'm out on bond. I got out
What's
of
the
jail
name
2
of the
years
state?
ago. No, let me finish. I got out of jail 2 years ago. And I have been into this international law trying to fight this motherfucking case, right? So recently, I've created some documents after I did all this international paperwork to create my state, right? I recently sent to the lawyer these documents that I filed, or not filed, but registered with international organizations. So now with this case, I'm arguing a jurisdictional defect. I am not a citizen of the United States. So
What are you
therefore,
a citizen of? What are you a citizen of?
I'm a citizen of the state that I created and the
What's the name of
territory that
the
the
state you
indigenous
created,
people
sir?
own here.
What is the name of the state you created, sir?
The Olmec state.
So as Tariq Nasheed say, because I'm a Moor, Tariq Nasheed says that nothing wrong with paperwork, but we have to prove that it worked first. So see, ain't nothing wrong with what you're doing, but as foundational black people and Aboriginal people to the Americas, why are you going to change the name just for yourself? Just for yourself.
I ain't gonna lie. Y'all can have this conversation on your own and talk about this bullshit. I don't want to talk about this bullshit.
All right, I'm out.
All right, peace and blessings. You dropped some wise words, though. Shout out to you,
Yep.
bro.
Peace.
Peace. Peace and blessings, bro. Appreciate you coming through, brother Corey. Shout out to Victor. What's up, Victor? What you got to say, King Vic?
Hey, listen, man. When it come, I look at it like this. Amongst each other, we know who we is. We call each other what we want. Same way we say nigga, dog, all that, right? But on the political stage, once you add that name black, that's their jurisdiction. It's their classification. Now, I've been claiming black my whole life. I'm going to claim black till I die. But I'm talking about when we talking about restitution and going in front of these crackers with this political shit.
Facts.
That's that, you know what I'm saying? Like it's one and the same. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can't get around. You can't get around it.
Well, me being a Moor, and knowing that the Moors is the ones that talk that shit. Me being a Moor,
I don't know nothing. Listen, I don't know nothing about no Moor shit. Huh?
I just didn't cut you off. I didn't cut nobody off. I'm just trying to say that me being a Moor and black and my fault.
Hold on. Let them build. I don't want no interchange. I want to get to everybody. Let them get their little spill in before I'm gonna get to you too. You ain't get your spill in. I'm gonna get to everybody. I got you, Root.
But listen, my situation is the same shit. I come across this information by fighting these crackers. Like when you have a status hearing, like the reason they're having that status hearing is to see your status under the law. So, like, what is your status? We don't have one. It's non-existent. On this shit, on the international stage, on all that shit, black does not exist. So when you asking the question, well, what do they know us as? What do they call us? Legally, nothing. We have no status. We are of the status of black, void. It ain't one. You can't speak for yourself in court. You can't speak for yourself on the smallest level to the tallest level. You don't have a voice. You don't have a name. You don't have anything. Period. So, you know what I'm saying? When we go at these crackers, man, it's like, all right, what we gonna call ourselves? But black can't be it.
No, I understand that. I understand that it can be used, and we do identify. You've been going by it for years, like a lot of us have, because it's a social construct. But when it comes to the legal part of the process, we can substitute it with a word that has just as much meaning.
Like Aboriginal.
Absolutely. And that's why I'm glad my FBA brothers and sisters are in here and they understand exactly what we're saying. I'm not opposed we identify as black. Like when they talk about black people, just know they talk about your black ass. You see what I'm saying?
You feel me?
Absolutely. Trying to get cheese.
But whether you talking about restitution or reparations, that black ain't gonna get it. It's not gonna get it. We're gonna have to get all the way away from that unless we creating a black a FBA black nation state, a FBA flag, unless we go international with that joint.
You can still use it because it's still a social term. We still socialize and we still on social media. So the term black can still be promoted, if you will, to a certain extent. But when they got to have the awareness of this Aboriginal term and how it applies to you exclusively. You see what I'm saying?
Make them rethink it. Make them
rethink. And the spiritual system that comes behind what y'all saying, it'll take like me said, like I said, I was saying I was a Moor. Like I come to black people, my family members, like mother, son, and family members say, "Hey, you ain't black. You such and such. You such and such." They don't know how to. They don't know how to entertain that thought. They're just too sleep, just too working every day, been in the TV, just sleep like I was 5 years ago. So when I say, hey, you know you're a foundational black, you know that means you indigenous or Aboriginal to America, that brings a different type of spark plug to them. So,
hey, you know what?
so how can you go against something that we're trying to wake
So
up?
listen, I feel the shit out of what he's saying. I just want to say this one thing. Listen, you know how I look. You know how waiting for a motherfucker to wake up. I was waiting for motherfuckers to wake up around me before I made a move for years, and you know what that turned out to make me do? Not do shit. So the motherfuckers that still sleep, they gotta be sleep, while the motherfuckers that's moving, move. They'll wake up when they see when they see the shit rolling.
Excuse me, but what does that foundational black?
When it comes to
Oh,
the
sorry.
systematics of the word, right? Systematic, all these different things that put people in an order of something. When you hear that word black, that's really what it do. That's the only problem I have with it. I know we're used to being called that, but when I was young or a young girl, right, we used to say Afro, like people would be Afro American, Afro, AFRO, right? It's systemically, rhythmatically, semetically changed over years into something someone tried to construct us into. So it went from Afro Americans to African Americans. And this is the problem I have with the black thing, because eventually it'll be like, okay, you're still black, which no, we're not. Legally, the terms that are used against us are the things that bind us down, that hold us down, that spellbind us into the system and being up under what somebody wants us to be, instead of us being over it and overruling these things and taking control over them. So the law is a very pertinent thing that is used against us because we have ignorance of the law when it comes to certain things. So taking on the term of black, okay, I'm going to be black. I'll say I'm black just because everybody calls me black. Just because we've been calling ourselves black all this time. You're taking on, okay, I'm just going to resonate with that frequency and I'm going to say that I'm black just because, to fit myself into the box of where someone's planting me. That's the obscure problem. It makes no sense to say, yes, I'm going to just take the word on till we make our plan, or we let them see what we talking about, or, da, 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 da. Who cares about all that? And now I ain't black, period. I'll never be dead in the eyes of the law. We stand up over the law. The law is under us, actually. We stand on top of the law. We create the law. We are the law of the land. We were born to be the law of the land. So to
Not
try
their
to
law.
label us dead under the law, it's absolute BS. Whether you just want to say the word because they labeling us that or not, I'm not taking it on. Like I never took on African American. It was always Afro American. And these words seem to get into people's mind, and the rhythm of it messes with a person's mind, and their standing gets to be up under. And people just don't see that. It's very pertinent. I'm sorry, but it is.
All right, Ab. Listen, this is the last thing I got to say. I'm gonna give you this last thought.
All right, go ahead, big bro.
Everything everybody's saying, I agree with probably 99% of what she just said. Probably mostly I get the gist of everything everybody's saying, but I'm gonna leave you with this. When we talking about law, we talking about two things: public and private. Every single law that they charge us with, every single law that we're subject to and held under and bound by, is a public law, right? So the first step for all of us, no matter what, is to stop being subject to public laws. You can exist and operate in the private. And Crackers been doing it forever. There's nothing stopping you from doing it. I'm not going to go down no rabbit hole as to how and all of that, because there's plenty of information out there. And I ain't talking, like Cornell law, or just plenty of information out there to show you how to do it if you look it up. But you only subject to public domain and public law. Private law is the law that we create.
I might do a whole build on law, private, the difference, and breaking down every criteria, the difference between the public and the private, and the benefits of and the negative takes from it. So yeah, I'm gonna do a build on that probably in the next.
Hey, can I say something real quick, Aboriginal Power?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, let me get to the last brother real quick. Y'all know you go root, and then I get to my brother Hiker in just a second. Shout out to Hiker on the panel.
Salute, man. I'm just coming on here, the beautiful man, amongst all this power. Like I told you, I'm just here for the Jews, bro.
Yeah,
but I've been talking. I'll get back. I'll get back. Thank you. Yeah, I'll get later on.
Root.
I'm saying if the brother ain't talk, go ahead, let him flow. I'll catch up.
No, you got the flow. He was just greeting everybody. He just capped on the panel. Go ahead.
Oh yes, sir. I'll just I claim certain things. Everybody claims certain things, but there's a code. There's a code to my bloodline, which people call my mother and my son and people around me that are asleep. So when a person naturally go against a foundational black, and I'm like, when we say we ain't black, the only people be teaching we ain't black is maybe you, two or three other indigenous aboriginals, and the Moors. So now that this foundational black man talking about, oh, now we're foundational and we need to do something to move forward, and that's a trigger word for the Negroes of America. Everybody want to start teaching why we ain't black. It's just something fishy. Why wasn't y'all teaching this shit a week ago, a month ago, 3 months ago, a year ago? Why all of a sudden now everybody want to be up here, Moorish professors talking about, oh well, black is private and public and it's this and that. Why can't y'all get on code? I digress.
Well, what are you talking about when it comes to like talking about the law, brother? It has nothing to do with being Moorish. The law doesn't apply to if you're a Moor or
Yeah,
something
I'm sitting thinking the same thing. What the fuck?
or Native
Okay, she
American,
asked me a question. I'm just like,
right?
I've been around
It,
for a while. She asked me a
hold
question.
on.
I've been around for a while. And I've been through
Right.
all sorts of these communities. So since I'm in all sorts of these
Hmm.
communities, nobody has been practicing we ain't black except for Aboriginal, a couple other Aboriginals, and the Moors. But now that a foundational black man has came around and showed that we're a special group, everybody want to just go against black, 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 black. Why not get the foundational black people in here and ease them into that information? Why just come in here and start on some negative shit? I digress.
Right.
I
See,
ain't hear nobody
that's
I
come
don't
what I had
on
think
an
and
I
issue
don't.
with.
Let me. Can I finish what I was saying? Yeah, it has nothing to do with going against anybody or pulling them in. So what do you think? This is a time for like baby steps. This is a time to okay, we're gonna pull them in, bring them over because we're all on the same platform and we want the same things, but we'll let them just keep saying the wrong thing. That's like letting your kids stand there and curse your ass out. That's a disrespect to my ancestors to call them black because they've been dead and in the law and dead and buried, killed, all kind of stuff. So it's disrespectful, is what it is.
But
And
y'all
you've been
don't
around,
teach it.
and
But
you've been
y'all
around,
don't teach
and you
it.
root word,
Y'all
root word.
don't
You hear
teach
me, root word?
it.
I'm still talking, root
Hey,
word. Hold on.
hold on,
I'm
hold
still
on, sister.
talking, root word.
It's me, sister. So what I'm saying is, I see what both of y'all saying. Let's dig this. In the real world, we got family members that identify with black, and you don't look at them no way when they do that or whatever the case may be, or grandma or great grandma or somebody else that might not particular identify, but we know who our people is. We just like first of all, we got to learn to be patient. Second of all, you got to understand the way you think now ain't the way you thought 5 years ago. You see what I'm saying? Or 10 years ago. You see what I'm saying? For the most part. So
Maybe
it's
some of us, AP. I mean, I've been doing this, not particularly the Aboriginal. I just came into that. But everything that I've been teaching and talking about, I've been doing that for like over 10 years, bro. That's like
no,
straight.
no, no. I'm talking about
So it's
strictly.
very
I'm,
important
But
to
you've
I'm
never
talking.
taught about
I'm,
not being
I
black.
ain't
That's a
talking.
Moorish
I ain't
thing.
talking
You've
about
never
what you
taught
teach.
about not
I'm,
being black, sister. So,
root word.
I'm,
so
Can I
quit
I'm,
throwing
talk
that
to
shit out
him?
there. Y'all don't teach about not being black.
Can I
hold
tell
on.
him entertainment for a second? Because I can't
Man,
hear him.
whatever,
Hold
y'all.
on.
Y'all don't
I
do
can't
it.
hear. I'm talking, Rule. I can't. Please mute up for me, big bro. No, I ain't talking about that you teach because we talking about ethnicities and identifying as Aboriginal or knowing your true lineage. A lot of us didn't wake up and knew our true lineage. We had to research this. You had to catch keys and piggyback off of other people's research
Right.
and to catch sources.
Right.
A lot of people was identifying by something else that you probably wouldn't agree that somebody else will identify with right now. You
It
see
don't
what I'm
matter if you
saying?
meant it an
So,
hour
so,
ago,
so
bro.
what I'm saying is
But
we can't be subject over new people coming to new information at
I'm
different times. You
AP,
feel me?
because root word cut me out. I didn't get to finish what I was saying. Can I finish what I was saying earlier, like everybody else did, just real quick, and then I'll be done.
Yeah, I'll let you speak. I'm just building with you.
I
Uh,
understand, bro. I'm just saying because the interruptions, it leaves a leeway for everybody else to say something. Because
yeah,
I'm just
yeah,
saying.
it's all good. I do my best to try to keep it at once. You know what I'm saying?
All I'm trying to say, brother, is that when ushering in stuff, right, it's not always good to like do the baby steps and oh here, let me hold you with a feather and usher you in softly. No, shit, let their ass know. Y'all coming with that FBA shit, that's fine. But listen, that black, they gotta go. Cause boom, boom, boom. Even if they don't want to get rid of their name, of course, because that's what they've been handling and holding on to, that's fine. That's respectable. But don't keep forcing it on us and keep saying that black is black, it is black, it's black, it's black. It's not. Even when you say that word, I don't even know if y'all know this. I would like for everybody to really just say the word. Say the word. It gives a negative connotation to you, but you really can feel a vibration in your whole
Hey, but
freaking
sister,
body.
so let me
Like
ask you this.
it's a real shit. I'm just saying.
I know. Let me ask you this. We're gonna dialogue. You know what I'm saying? You good? It's me and you talking. You ain't gotta rush fast. It's me and
Okay.
you talking
All
right
right.
now. You know what I'm saying?
Peace,
It's
brother.
all
Appreciate
good.
that.
You see what I'm saying?
You know I get shit.
Hey, so
They not
listen.
gonna feel
So
like I'm
what I'm
being
saying
humble.
is, we gotta learn it. It's steps to this. We can't
Mhm.
be subject to a classification that somebody else want to identify as. It doesn't change a person's
My
lineage.
man.
You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is we gotta learn how to stop shit that's already been identified. Whether you want to be identified as black, when other cultures talk about black Americans, they're talking about you. Whether you want to or not. You see what I'm saying? So we
Yeah.
gotta learn social, we gotta learn legally. Sometimes we get confused. So I think we just, that's what we here for. Hey man, I got the patience of a surgeon around this motherfucker. You feel what I'm saying? Because I understand that I once thought totally crazy at one point in time as well, and I had a ideology and I had a growth from that. All I'm doing is just making the brothers, just giving them the blueprints and shit a little easier for them to grow. You know what I mean? We're all gonna grow. I literally see where a lot of these FBA brothers and sisters at. I literally was there before I came into the Aboriginal information. I was literally right there. You see what I'm saying? Like right there. So I understand everything. I know the whole
So you had an
everything before
empathy.
you going. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of us was. So, but a lot of us forget that. You see what I'm saying?
Hey,
Over the year or 2 years of coming into this Aboriginal information. Before you was
hey, hey,
identified
Wait, hold on,
Aboriginal,
bro. Hold
you,
on.
you
I want to
you had
let
to
me
respond
say
to
this
identify
about
as
what she
Hold
something.
said.
on, bro. Can I
Hold on,
respond real quick?
hold on. I got you, King
They
Vic.
being a
Mute
rut.
up. Go ahead, sister. So
Just lost my thought real quick. This be so much confusion. All I'm saying, brother, is that I hear everything you're saying, and you know my tip, right? Since I came into the Aboriginal thing, I am headstrong in this because I've been studying
I
research.
so, so my bad, sister. I don't mean to cut you. What did you identify before you came into the Aboriginal Indian
I'm
information?
and see that's why. Okay, I'm glad you asked me that. That's important. I didn't identify, brother. I don't have an identification. How can you identify as to I'm this, I'm that? You know what I'm saying? I always
Come on, you had
Indian.
to identify as something, man.
I mean, I
You
had
had
Indian.
to.
I
You the
identified
only
Indian.
person I know running around with no damn identity running around this motherfucker. Or
Listen, you
they didn't have a
bro, come
descriptive
on now. Let's
term
have a
that
serious
you use for
conversation.
yourself.
I'm telling you specific. I don't have no reason to lie, front, or fake and shit. I don't do that. What I'm telling you is I didn't have an ID. If somebody asked me, oh, what's your identity? I would say, oh, I have Indian, that's my background. That's my ancestry. That's about what I would say if somebody asked me. But nobody really talked about that type of stuff. I never really deal with those type of people. A lot of people I deal with, the word thing is a big thing. So they don't use certain words or talk about certain things. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing. I deal more into a lot of spiritual stuff. So that's why the word thing is a big thing because it's a spellbinding technique. It's a thing that indoctrinates and brainwashes our people. So hearing that word is, like I said, it's a big thing. That's not even on the law stuff. Law in the law
Well,
saying,
well,
yes.
well, well, listen, you a rare breed. The majority of us identified as something, and that identification came with a descriptive term. It was a descriptive term that you see what I'm saying, whether you have an ID or not. You see what I'm saying? So we
But
we
I have
we acknowledge
identified if in
ourselves
that
as
way,
something.
brother, as white. I've identified and marked white on job applications to
Okay, so
make
that's
sure I was selected. So if you want to say an
right.
identity, even though I wouldn't go around saying, "Oh, I'm a white person," but I've
No,
done.
no, no. But that's what you acknowledge yourself as. What you classified yourself as.
That's right. And that was a
So right, so
classification. It
that's what
wasn't
I
a
said.
color because
That's
I'm
why I
not.
was saying. That's why I was gonna say that'd be crazy for somebody not to identify as something. I never heard of that from
So
nobody. You know
can
what I'm
I
saying?
respond
Like,
to bro?
So see, what I was trying to say, Aboriginal power is that we have
So
family
listen,
members.
so prior to you coming to the Aboriginal information, you identified as white. You see what I'm saying? Which is still part of a color construct. You see what I'm saying? Until coming into prior information with data that help you change your ideology from one to the other. You just didn't change it
But it
because I
wasn't a
said
change.
you had to look at the data to get
It
stuff.
wasn't a change though. That's not what I'm saying, bro. It was I didn't have an identity, but depending on what I'm doing, okay. On here, if I want this job, I know I need to be white. So let me just put this shit. That's because that's what they go under. That's
Hey,
not
can
what
I
I
ask you a
really
question about that, white?
no, let me finish what I'm saying first. You can't ask me nothing while I'm talking, bro. Come on now. What I'm saying is that when doing that, brother, it puts you under. I can't say I'm this, I'm that. I'm a color. I'm not gonna claim a color. If I have to claim a color, I'm gonna say I'm a copper brown person. I mean, what if I'm gonna claim a color? But I'm more than that. We all of us, we're more than a color. We are like everything. We're the ether of this earth. We're the energy in this whole freaking earth. So claiming that color shit, that's some minute shit. So to me, those type of things restrict us. They bind us. They make us smaller than what we are. It's a whole ideology behind it when it comes to the way I look at it. So I ain't gonna get into that. But all I'm saying is that black is a negative connotation to us, to our ancestors, and marking them, to marking ourselves, calling ourselves, claiming something that we're not. I'm the walking dead. I mean, that's just a legal standpoint when we need to justify ourselves in legal means. So it's the one I just want to say that.
Hey, let me just
And
say,
I
like when we talking like that, like the only
Hey, hold on.
people with Tariq
Before you go,
nasheed.
before you go, Ru, I said I let the brother Victor go. Oh, actually, I said I let Hiker go because Hiker been waiting patiently amongst all y'all. He still haven't even got his introduction in while we was building on this conversation. It was just a good conversation, y'all. So shout out to Hiker. Hiker, I'm gonna let you get your shit in, and then King Victor can go after that.
All right.
Well, like I say, fellas, I was saying, before this information came about, man, it doesn't matter who was doing it first or who was doing whatever. All I'm saying is we got a lot of people right now want to identify with this here community or against the community because we have woken up others who claim they were scholars, who claim they was humanitarians, who claim there was all these other identities, and there was this in disguise, and it was misleading people like me. So until this information came out of these platforms, you see what I'm saying? Now everybody have a problem. I'm upset with the ones who knew this information. And if you knew it, you could have been teaching back then. But now these platforms are alive and everybody coming on here with, oh, you should have. But just respectfully, just say gratefully, man, look, I appreciate the information that your brothers are bringing forward. Because if I had the nuts to bring it then, I would have brung it. But I did have the nuts to bring up what I do have now. You see what I'm saying? It's all about us being men, bruh. Men. And you can see Air Power and them put it together, bruh, for to put it in our face, bruh, raw as y'all want to touch it, man. It's all about us just going putting this information out to the other people who may now be listening and being misled to the things that we all know or that you may know more than me. And I'm gracefully respectful that you all do know it, because now I can get it and I can analyze it to feed it to other people in my form or in the form they want to take it also, big brothers. Come on, man. I digress.
That's a fact, though. No, that's a fact. And at the end of the day, though, we just got to be real with ourselves, man. Keep progression. We not here to bicker and complain. We know who our peoples is at the end of the day. So, and we know who our people ain't. That's more important. You see what I'm saying? It's more important to identify who is not our people. You see what I'm saying? Shout out to my brother Jaguar Omac, man, just coming on the panel. Big brother Jaguar, salute, bro. What's going on?
Man, salute, man. You already know, man. Salute to the panel, to the chat. Much appreciation to everybody, man, and they thoughts, man. I think like, hey, you should have been had this one, AP. I don't know why you just now doing this one. That's been the whole conflict this whole time.
Yeah,
Y'all
but
already
I want to add in. I want to make sure that we got a agreement from Big Al first. Then we can have the casual conversation amongst my brothers and sisters in the chat, because I want to establish, no matter what anybody else's opinion. The FBA brothers and sisters are our brothers and sisters. You see what I'm saying? So I just want to establish that. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of people mixing up this ADOS with this, and ADOS people is a little different. Them motherfuckers think they come from Africa. You see what I'm saying?
Aboriginal power.
Yeah.
When the last time, because you've been on for a while, growing your situation to what it is, how many times has any Moors, Aboriginals, Indians, blacks, whatever we call ourselves, came on here and start dropping that so-called Moorish, we ain't blackety black and it's a status correction and blah, blah, blah and all that shit? They don't do it, brother. You know why they don't do it? Because it's not a necessity to them. They don't care until somebody brings something stable to the table that can get us somewhere. And it shows that a lot of people have been claiming white. A lot of people haven't been claiming black. And they won't show the information until it's time for people to come together and move forward. So I'm just wondering, why are y'all mad about black right now when y'all haven't did it for years? No, I know I could count the people on my hands that done been on Aboriginal Powers channel and around the community talking about we ain't black. Brother, you that's
Right.
up here, sister, so none of y'all do it. Y'all don't do it on your channels. Y'all don't speak it.
I thought the term black meant was
I'm gonna say
returned
one more
to
time.
paraphrase.
Why are y'all so? Why are y'all so? Why is this so special right now to y'all when a man is showing that we are a race, a lineage of Aboriginal people of America that's been called black? What's wrong with that? I have family members that are black that I want to get this message to.
Aboriginal that's been called black. Boom. Simply said. For the new views. Hey, so I'm gonna let the brother King Victor respond to all that. Everybody mute up. King, you got the flow for a second. Get it, bro. Let's get it. Hey, hold on. Before you go in, we got 302 people in the chat, man. I need everybody to go thumb up the video real quick. Thumb up the video. Thumb up the video. If you sharing it, share it. Tag me in. I'll share it on my post, on my videos, on my stories. Make sure y'all drop them fire emojis in the chat. Go ahead, King Victor. What's up?
I don't know. Listen. First, I'm gonna ask you because maybe he talking about a different chat. I ain't hear nobody that was mad or really saying nothing negative against it. But so I can't really respond to that. I don't know. I said I came out from the rip. I've been a nigga my whole life. I'm a die one. So whatever you want to call it. Look, I'm from Philly, right? And in Philly, we got all of the groups. The niggas be out with their bullhorns, mics in the summertime, all that shit. When I walk up the street, you know what they all say to me? Brother, we. Brother, we this. Brother, we that. Brother, we ain't. Brother, we is. But it's always brother, no matter what the group is. We all know our people. I ain't, you know what I'm saying? That ain't the beef with me anyway. So I don't know if I missed something or not, but I can't really respond to that.
Like for instance, you can see a Hebrew Israelite lined up, a Pan African, motherfucking FBA, and you'll walk by, you all hit, what's up, bro? Shake the hand, the same handshake. What's up, bro? That's your people. You see what I'm saying? You identify them no matter what costume that they in. You see what I'm saying? At the end of the day, that's it. Wow.
Even the Moors. So
right.
You know what I mean? None of that shit really don't make a difference to me. I'm saying like, but as far as that, we taking the conversation, it's like two different conversations happening, but it's really one conversation. Because once you take the conversation of restitution or what's the other one? You know what the fuck I'm saying?
Reparations.
Goddamn reparations, yeah. Either way, you still talking about some legal shit. Which in order to have a voice legally, you gotta have legal status and standing. And when the information come, whether it came back then, we still ain't got it all. I'm looking forward to the information that's gonna come tomorrow, later on today, a month from now, all that shit. Like whether they was talking it then or not, if it's right, bring it now. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Nigga, I ain't married to a motherfucking idea. A better one come along, nigga cheating. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
right.
I think we already is together. We arguing about petty shit. You know what I'm saying? A motherfucker introduce a new idea and then a motherfucker get mad. But I'm rocking with the FBA. If a nigga say we FBA, look, I know what the fuck. I know who we talking about. I think we men. We all do. It shouldn't even be that emotion. We try to
But
get
when
to the
you say
technicals of this shit
restitutions,
to get somewhere.
when you say restitutions and reparations, do you think that people that just came over here for the last 5, 10, or 20 years should be included through the stuff that our people been going through for the last 400 or 100
No,
years?
no.
See, that's the clarity of what foundational black bring, and I gotta respect it. I digress though.
Yeah, okay, I respect it too. I don't. I mean, I guess you trying to debate or argue with some shit. I don't really know. Anyway, Ed, you got it, big homie.
Hey, I wanted to respond to Sister Soul while she was actually over here because this is what brought the conversation up to the forefront in the first place. It's one thing to where you disagree with how you classify yourself. Like I'm cool with that. We all grown men at the end of the day. I ain't tripping on whether you agree or disagree. To be honest with you, I don't even care to debate that. There's a lot of stuff that I disagree with personally, but if you're on code with me, I'm rocking with you. If we're on code together, I'm rocking with you. You know what I mean? I really don't care about the semantics. But my
I'm
thing is this.
rocking with you. I'm
Exactly.
rocking with
You feel me?
you.
But here's my thing though, that this is something that needs to be brought to the forefront is it's one thing to disagree with something, it's another thing to attach a label to what you disagree with. For instance, don't sit there and say, well, I'm side-eyeing anybody who consider themselves black. I've seen that a lot in the chat. Or anybody who call themselves black, I'm looking at them as an agent. I've seen that a lot. So these sentiments that's dangerous because then it's going to cause some type of hostility. Because now you're going beyond just disagreeing with me. Now you're trying to attach another label to me, and that's what I'm not feeling. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, we all supposed to be on code with one another. I disagree with the term ADOS, but I'm not going to sit there and tell Nagneezy, you know what? I don't care for that term ADOS because of da 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 da. We see where his mind is at. I'm just gonna be on code with the brother. It's that simple. You know what I mean? So like this whole thing of trying to take black away, yeah, if you got the information, that's cool. You gotta allow people to come into that information. My thing is I'm not too much worried about who we was thousands of years ago. What I'm worried about right now is I understand that we under a system of white supremacy. And that's what it boils down to. A lot of people don't want to admit that. You just had a sister over there saying she classified herself as white. You know what I mean? In my circles, we side-eyeing that. You see what I mean? So that's just why I want to that's what I just want to bring to the forefront. You know what I mean? So I'll land my plane over there.
Well, I just want to say, as far as like I say, for those who are coming into this, man, anybody new, you know what I'm saying? Much respect because, of course, you got to start somewhere and you got to deal with what you know. But when you go far enough, you eventually see what people are saying when they say, you got to let black go because uh it's just more to it than just you actually socializing it. You know what I'm saying? But behind the scenes or whatever, when we really got to get down to what we got to get down to, you know what I'm saying? Even fortifying your generations next to come and your businesses and stuff like that, you really want to be able to, substantiate that with some
Yeah,
reality.
we're the
You know what
only
I'm
people
saying?
that can't use our social term and then use a legal term. You know, these white people, they identify as white, but they don't put that shit down. They don't mark themselves as white.
And all of them from different cultures.
Yeah, and that's just like even with the Asians, they very distinctive themselves. They want you to know if they Korean, they want you to know if they,
You got the Irish and
Thailand and
Scottish
all that. So,
and other motherfuckers that don't like Jews, but they all white. You see what I'm saying? You got Russians attacking Ukraine. Like I said, you got a lot of shit going on with amongst them, but they come together and identify as white as a social construct.
Facts.
right, and that's why I say even with the black thing, socially, it ain't nothing wrong with it because we know where our people at. We know what we got to do with that. But as you go further to being who you really are
we're gonna be
and
like,
bringing
look,
something
yeah,
that's
we
gonna
hit them with the
last
trick.
for
Look,
generations, black won't
yeah,
really last too long.
Leave that
yeah,
shit in the house. Leave that shit in your
we
household.
just gotta let them know once we get them in the house. We're like, oh, come on, black cuz, that's our cousin, they black. Woo, woo. We get them in the house, but like, listen, we putting this down. This gonna get us the cheese.
Facts.
You feel me? We gonna.
Right. That's where I'm at with it.
Facts.
And guess what you can do? Now you can alternate between two different. Now you playing their game like they play against you.
Then the cancer get concerns about everything.
We gotta learn how to play that game against them, man.
And that's why I know because a lot of people, you know, when you don't know and you come in, that's how a lot of confusion, you know, it's just the different conversations. Like I said, it is. I done heard 3 different conversations at one time. You know what I'm saying? Discussing this whole situation with the blacks
Only
or whatever.
motherfuckers that can't alternate between different social statuses, one socially and one legally. We the only motherfuckers that know. We just gotta use the same one for the social, the same one for the legally. It ain't getting nothing out of.
We the only motherfuckers that operate like that.
Damn, can
we
we
are some
have a
good
little
tamers.
option? We have the option like everybody else. See, we don't know how to use the reverse engineering and warfare against them.
And we are some damn good tamers.
Facts.
I agree.
So it's safe to assume that we all coming to a middle ground on all this. You know what I mean? It's not really a issue.
I don't think it's an issue at all, to be honest, man. I'm
No issue with me.
Never
as
issue.
opposed to Aborigines, man, ain't no issue, man.
It's all
I
love,
don't
man.
know these other pretending Indians, but nah.
Hey, yo.
I wanted to
know a
pose a
nigga no
question to
matter
you.
where you run
Oh
into
my
him
God,
at.
right, King?
Flat out.
I know what my nigga culture is, man.
Hey, I wanted to pose a question to you, AP. And this is kind of moving on from the subject that we on right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this all right. We build it. If anybody else new come on, want to touch on the subject, we'll ask them. Other than that, we keep it pushing. What's good?
Before you speak, but I want to get in the back. I want to go on the platform, man. I got something to do. Start off before my day start, man. Salute, man. It's been an honor to talk to you all, man. I like everything
Man,
that's been coming
love,
on, brothers, and thank y'all again, man, for letting me come on the platform and build with this power, man.
It's all love, bit, bro. You already know. Anytime, bit, bro. Make sure you be safe and blissful while you out there moving, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Safe and dangerous.
Always. Peace and blessings. One. Hey, so the link is in the chat, you guys. But go ahead, brother. Don P. Ask your question, bit, bro.
All right. So wait. So you know, we circling our wagons on immigrant groups trying to leech off of us, right?
Right.
When I first came into some information on quote unquote conscience, however I want to say it, the thing that scared me the most was, informants within our own groups. The William O'Neill story, the Fred Hampton story. So my question to you, and it's really to the whole panel, to be honest with you, is what should we do with known agents or suspected agents within our own community? Because in every movement that we ever had, it was always one of us that sabotaged it from within. So what should we do with
question? That's a good question. And most of the agents cloak themselves as a real member of whatever organization they was in. So by the time they was identified, it was already too late. So hypothetically, if we was to identify agent in early acts, we would totally expose him.
Yeah, that's
and get rid of him. Physically get rid of him. You know.
The spook who sat by the door answered that question. That's why they banned it in America.
But that's why we gotta be real. And a lot of these things get infiltrated because they have leaders that follow along or that they can attack. This is not no leader movement. There's no leader to this movement.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying?
This every household. I mean,
this
supposed to be just normal, natural, really. Like
this is us naturally coming together, whether y'all know it or not. This is us naturally coming together. It's that time, y'all.
Hey, peace to the panel.
Shout to Ray Ray.
Peace.
AP.
What's going on, bro?
Hey, check this out. I want to share this with the panel, right? Now, y'all see y'all brothers and sisters in Southern California, correct?
In Southern California?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Why you think I'm from Southern California?
Nah. I'm making a point. AP, tell my man he got an echo in the back.
Yeah, I got him out. I got him muted.
Hey, what it is California had a lot of Belizeans come up out there, and it's obvious they wanted to be segregated away from the Negro, right? But I noticed they joined a lot of the so-called Negro gangs, and I kind of feel like, check it out. I kind of feel like they only joined the gangs because the so-called Hispanic was basically saying, "Man, we not fucking with y'all, bro. Y'all like them." So the psychology of that, So the psychology, so the psychology of that. The point I'm getting at is the Caribbean gangbanger practice segregation even within the gang when it comes to other foreigners. It's crazy, man. So y'all just keep that in mind, man. Like, it's nowhere in the world they could beef in Southern California and we be in northern part of Maine and it not be the same way of thinking. This is how they think, you know? So I just want y'all to know, man, like the term black, when you say that, you including everybody. Negro is distinctive. These Caribbeans and these Africans, they never got called Negroes. Never. There's no record calling them Negroes. So, man, it's the Negro. When you say the Negro, that's very distinctive in who we talking about. So y'all keep doing what y'all do, man.
Hey, I appreciate you for coming through, Ray. Appreciate you. Hey, we got Smoke Signal on here, and we got Libra Sun, and we got Sister Soul back on the panel. What's going on, Libra Sun and Smoke Signal? What's going on?
Peace, man. Peace to the American gods and goddesses.
Peace, y'all. What y'all got going on? Y'all good?
Yeah, I just had to say one thing, man. So I know a lot of people be confused about this, but one of the main things is that our nationality is American, right? That nationality was stolen and usurped by these so-called colonists, and they're using the term American for themselves. And that's why we scrambling for an identity. We already have one. It was just stolen.
That's a fact.
So, hey, boss, let me add on to that, right? Even the term ADOS, right? Those were people that kind of got caught at a dead end and didn't know how to identify other Negroes. And a lot of y'all, even now, not you personally or anybody on the panel, y'all really just getting real understanding. So don't try to down talk people that still are a little out there, like quote unquote the ADOS, the FBA, Aboriginal, Indigenous, Negro only Israelites. And shout out to them brothers over there too, for pushing the Negro only. It's some things is off. We all ain't gonna agree on all doctrines, but if you pushing the Negro only, man, y'all know how we coming, man. We segregating right now, so y'all know what's going on. We segregating. This is a segregation right now.
Yep.
And another thing, are y'all ready to start painting y'all females and y'all kids' toes and nails and all this other stuff? Because if we're gonna do that, that means you're gonna have to fall back a little bit from them Asian hair stores. So are y'all niggas ready to start clipping toenails? All y'all niggas with feet fetishes and shit? You feel me? Get y'all money, man.
Speak on it, I swear.
Right.
But
Yo, what's up?
our women
They
used to
gonna
taking
send
care of
all kind of
themselves. The
bundles
original
of
women
weed.
do. They don't depend on going to hairdressers and those are different type of women. All women
And
don't
see,
depend on weaves and hairdressers and they
that's
know
it.
how to
But baby
maintain
girl,
themselves.
baby girl,
No, I'm
check
just
it out.
saying you asked the question. I'm just speaking for most women that I know. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But check it out. Listen, we speaking on the Negro woman. The statistics is they there trying to get their nails and their feet done before the liquor store open. Correct?
That's a fact.
I'm not aware of
Okay,
that
okay.
statistic.
So okay, baby girl. So my point is, when you look at history, when it comes to these Asian mongoloids, whatever you call them, they are in the feet. It's something called foot bonding. These
Right.
people, they're into that. So they're actually being turned on while they doing y'all toes. Now, don't get me wrong.
No,
Right.
brother, foot binding is something they do. It's something
No,
that they do.
baby
It's
girl, listen,
ignorant
baby
that
girl, I'm a
people
Nah,
scholar.
don't
he
teach
right.
them
Baby
on.
girl,
I
listen,
Brother,
personally
I'm a
know.
scholar on it as well. Go ahead though.
baby
I'm
girl,
sure you know everything.
listen, okay, check it out. They are into the beauty of the young feet. Even though their body expanded, they wanted to keep the mold of the little girl's
Right.
feet because it was considered beauty. So, doesn't beauty consist of a
That means it's a
sexual
fetish. No,
preference?
no, brother. No. All beauty does not consist of something
But
that's sexual,
you
brother.
understand. Listen, baby girl, you understand. See, listen,
Mm-mm.
a
You
lot of y'all
twisting that,
That's
females,
the
brother.
listen,
I'm
listen,
Chinese
not.
listen, listen,
thing.
listen.
That's the Chinese
A
thing.
lot of y'all need,
I
listen,
know
a lot
exactly
of
what he's
y'all
That
talking
sound
Negro
about.
like some
females,
Chinese foot rolling shit, like the foot
listen,
They
roll up.
bind the feet. They
Chinese.
bind the feet so they
hey,
stay small
baby
and
girl,
childlike. He's
baby
correct on
girl,
that. I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm saying
baby
that it
girl,
does not make it a sexual thing, brother, because it's for they think that the
baby
youthful
girl,
feet
baby
is
girl.
Hey,
I'm
but
beautiful,
not
listen,
baby.
speaking no
hold on,
positive.
hold on, sister. So I want to let Ray Ray get to his point. I'm trying to figure out what his point is. Go ahead.
Why when we talking about the progress of Negroes, y'all want to point out things that they're good at or that they don't do? They doing too much negative for y'all to keep pointing out these little things that you think they don't do. They like sex. A lot, most Asian like cartoon sex, anime. That's what they into that shit. And you know this. So stop playing games. They are sex demons. They don't know how to not be turned off, man.
Oh
This
my
is
God.
what they do. Oh yeah,
AP,
God,
what's
what?
his point though? Did I lose some of
My
the
point. Hey,
conversation?
hey, look.
Hold
Check it out.
on. Everybody mute up. Hold on.
My point is, when men talk, you need to listen, baby girl. We all here to edify one another. And you're going against everything I said and ask anybody on the panel, have I said anything wrong? And we're going to see what they say.
Am I allowed to speak now, man, since I'm a woman?
Ask them, listen, ask
Yeah.
the
Calling
panel
her
Oh,
what
baby
I
girl
said.
okay.
ain't
All
cool.
right. I'm just
That ain't
wondering,
cool.
what's
Hey,
going on.
shut
And
the fuck up, fag. You a bitch too. Who
I
the fuck
think,
are you?
Hey,
No,
Ray
no,
Ray,
I'm
calm down.
saying,
Ray,
I'm saying,
Yo,
Ray,
Calm
Ray,
down.
it's very
fuck out of here.
disrespectful. You
Listen,
calling her
please,
baby
please.
girl, man.
Calm
That's
down.
not cool.
Calm down.
It's
Calm
cool.
down.
Shut the fuck
Calm
up,
down.
fag.
Ray,
Come on, man.
I'm
She
trying to
ain't
talk
getting
to
I'll
the
knock
Hold
you
people.
out,
on.
you weird ass nigga. Be
Hold on.
quiet.
Hold
He the
on. Hold
problem,
on.
admin. You know it. I'm right next to the
Hold
gym, buddy.
on. Hold on. Hold on. Y'all stay muted, man. Ray Ray. Why you be doing that, Ray Ray? Why you be coming on flipping like that, Ray Ray? Calm down, Ray Ray.
AP,
Damn.
I came in
Ray
a
Ray.
positive tone. I came in a positive tone. I'm talking about the future of the kids and what the boys should be doing and the girls should be doing, and you trying to point out something good that they doing. What does that have to do with the progress of us or what they doing good?
No,
Why
no,
you
no,
gotta
no,
look to
no,
far?
no, 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 no. I don't think that was the point. We was trying to get to what was your point about the feet though? We did,
My
yeah, we was
point in
trying
the
to
feed
get to
is
the point.
listen. If the Negro want to be self sufficient, he has to do for self. And because we understand that our females are into, you know, looking good, who gonna clip their toenails if they 200 something pounds and can't bend over and clip it themselves? So what I'm saying is Man, it sound out there, but y'all got a female that just disturbed my soul just now. So AP,
All
y'all
right,
keep doing
Ray,
what
hold
y'all
on.
do, man.
All right, Ray, go ahead, sister. So you
Okay,
got the
I would first off, I'm gonna say to Ray, when you know, just like you think a woman should listen when a man speaks, right? I can allow that respect, you know, for any real man, but when a woman speaks, a man needs to have enough sense to listen because there may be some key words he's missing if he's not listening. Let me say that. Even if you jumped off, I know you hear what I'm saying. So the point of the matter is that that feet stuff has nothing to do. The binding has nothing to do with a sexual orientation. He's combining the two. That was the only thing I was trying to say. It had nothing to do with it. Didn't have anything to do with the conversation actually. When he was talking about beauty, he was talking about what they're gonna do, who's gonna clip your nails, and like I said, an original woman knows how to maintain herself. You know, a woman knows how to maintain herself. She doesn't have to, you know, if oh, I can't get to the nail shop, she's gonna know how to take care of her feet, her, you know, everything about her body and her person. So I don't know why he was making a big point of that. That's where I was confused at.
I want to share something too. I definitely agree. I worked for a foot spa for 3 years under people from China, actually called Songo. I could literally break down the whole foot fetish and sex thing. I was in agreement, but this is a woman here. You don't call her baby. Very, very disrespectful, and that was the only disagreement I had with Ray Ray. But I see he got on. Hey, don't call me a bitch or anything. The boxing gym is right next door. I'll break your face.
Well, I'm
Hey,
not
Yes.
aware of it being
I
sexual.
got a
I wasn't
question for
saying for
you.
sure. I just know that I know it was something to keep the feet small. They believed in, you know, them having these little feet or whatever, but I didn't know it had anything to do with the sexual orientation. He could have said that, but him being disrespectful, you're not even open to a conversation when a person's doing that. But thanks for elaborating on that, bro.
See
Hey,
how we
Ab,
I
I
got
been.
a question for
See
really
you.
how we
to
been.
each his own, really,
Hey,
cause I
Ab, I got a
mean,
question for you.
every man ain't changing his car or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of
See how we
preference.
been.
Exactly.
We been.
I
We
got a
been getting
question
up
for
on.
you, Ed. What's your thoughts on simping?
I couldn't hear you, brother. What did you say?
So what's your thoughts on simping?
On what?
Simping.
Simping, like tricking, simping.
On simping? Nigga, I don't know. Shit. You niggas do what you niggas do. I don't give a fuck you niggas fucking goats. I don't get into your personal life. Nigga, I'm here to educate you on your lineage, nigga. Shit. Give a fuck what you niggas be doing.
I think it's very
I
important
ain't gonna
that
lie.
that we,
If you
that we
got it,
remember
let me
that we
know so
remember.
I can avoid your ass.
I think it's
You know?
very.
I don't
I
even
think
know
it's
what the
very
fuck.
important that we
I'm just saying, I don't
check
get into niggas' personal life.
check one, check one. Y'all can
Yeah,
hear
I
me.
hear you.
Yeah, it's a lot of
I, s-
static in your thing, Pete.
I, I say I think it's very important that we remember the whole purpose why the foreigners are even over here in the first place. And history records that they came as servants.
As
Even though,
slave.
right, even though we've been misplaced and now we are been labeled as the servants, but history indicates that it was actually the foreign groups, the immigrants, the aliens. So we got to remember that we are actually the people, and now it's up to us to take on the responsibility to get ourselves back into our proper positions. It doesn't matter if the Asians continue to serve at the capacity which they were allowed to serve in the first place. We just got to put ourselves back in our proper position and let the servants be servants. I'll land right there.
Yeah, that's a fact though. That's a fact. We gotta put them back into they origin. You know what I'm saying? We gotta tap them back into their lineage. You know
One
these.
other thing about that AP, when he said that, remind me another point. When it comes to that black thing, once again, I'm sorry, but when a person is saying that, right? It makes you say, like we said with the legal thing, but it's important because that does apply to certain foreigners. So the Africans, that's why that Dred Scott case was important. People don't get it. They try to tie us into that, but that didn't apply to us. That applied to the foreigners. It applies specifically to an African. He was the Dred Scott guy was an African descendant. So he was an African descendant. So this is why it applied to him. He was dead in the eyes of the law because he was not a United States citizen. So that's important to not label ourselves black because we put ourselves in that box to be able to say we are in that standard. And that's why that case is important for people to understand not to put yourself in that particular standard.
Yeah, Dred Scott identified as a Negro.
Yeah, I
Was they
think.
considered black at the time?
Yeah, I think what we got to do when it comes to this
What'd you
black.
say? This,
Yeah, go ahead.
I couldn't hear what Sister Soul said. You said it said black at the top.
Yes, Negro was black, so the Africans, and that was part of like the blending, pretending like we were all the same thing, which was a lie.
Well, they
They
would have had to use the term Negro or color because the term black wasn't applied then.
The term wasn't brother, but the being black was implied in the Negro, and that would have been because he was an African descendant. The Dred Scott guy was of African descent, so because of that, he didn't have any Aboriginal roots. So that's what made him black in the law, and that's what made that case stand out that way.
Can I ask Sister Soul a question? You said you classified as white when you did classify yourself as a color. Why
Yeah.
you was white over black?
Because specifically with this company called Paycheck, it was a big company in my city, and a lot of people I knew that were of Caucasian, I'll say that descent, Caucasoid. They were getting hired there when we left a particular position, right? Because we all worked together. So a couple of them would tell me, "Oh, come over here." So I put in an application there before, and I'm like, "Oh, I put in before." I said I don't think they hire people of my color, whatever. So they was like, oh yeah, but still you should put in, you should be able to get in. So when I thought about it, I said, oh, you know what? I said, let me just change my color. I said, because I'm not black, so I could just put what I want on here. And that's what I did. And sure enough, I got called for the job because I had put that on there. Had I not put that on there, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't have called me. Because everybody I know that was that put black or I think they had African American or something on there. But whoever put like African American or whatever, none of those people got called back from the job, and we all worked on the same team. So it was kind of like, yeah.
So you do agree that that's a component of white supremacy, right? The fact that you had to change your classification to be qualified to do a job, right?
I'm not going to say it's a form of white supremacy. It doesn't make it white supremacy. It just makes it ignorant for a stupid ass company to think that if they're hiring those particular people, they're going to be better off, which they're not. Because half of them
That's
people was
supremacy.
under me. So
Hey,
it doesn't mean supremacy. No.
that's racism, and that's
Right.
one of the supremacy. So if one race can stop you from economic gain, right? That's
But they didn't,
supremacy.
brother. I got the job though. I was offered the job, and the lady,
Because
even
you
when she asked
submitted
me,
to it, because you agreed to become part of supremacy. You identified as part of the supremacy on paper. You see what I'm saying? So that's just how it goes.
no, but what they did, brother,
Listen,
it let them
you gotta
know
realize,
legally they didn't know my status. They
other,
didn't know my standing. So if
so,
they cannot
so,
tell me if I was black
so
or
so
white.
you gotta realize other blacks that look like you that come from everywhere else identify as white. This is how they play a part into the supremacy system as well.
That's why I asked you the question. I wanted to get to the bottom of your thinking because I think the real divide. Some people would say that it's personal feelings towards Tariq Nasheed, but for me, listening to the conversations, I honestly believe there's some people on this. I won't say the panel, but in this community that do subscribe to the idea that white supremacy is a real thing, and there's some people who don't subscribe to that idea.
I
And
don't.
I'm trying to see that through certain talking points.
Well, I don't. And using that, it was just for me to find out because the people that were of my race or color or whatever you want to call it were not getting called back for the job, and they should have been. And I didn't apply at the time because I already knew I'd heard from other people from years
I'm
before
saying
how they
the
were.
question is why. Once you answer the question, why was the black people not getting the job? That explains the supremacy system. Once you say why was they not
Exactly.
getting the job? Because of another white man not wanting to hire that race of
Right.
people.
But the thing is, the experiment though for me was important though because it let me see and it verified it. And then it also verified for me that they could not tell me what my social standing was. They had no right to say, "Oh, you're not this, you're not that. Oh, why did you put this on your application?" You know what I'm saying? They couldn't do any of that either. So
You
it
know
showed,
that
it
ties up.
validated for me that
You
it's a
mark, you
legal
mark that,
thing.
you mark that on a piece of paper as a job employee. They're able to use that in taxable, and that goes into a consensus. This consensus shows up as white numbers. So when you look at white people's numbers, you add a part of that. So, and not only that, the supremacists understand that there's black groups that's also working with them. There's foreign tether groups that come over here and work directly with them that identifies as their same
Right.
classification. You see what I'm
Right, but
saying?
at
So
the
that
time,
experiment
but
shows
brother, but wait, wait,
to
wait,
me,
wait. At the
no.
time, though,
Let me see.
brother, it was an experiment. I didn't know all this. Are you hearing what I
I
said
know, I
earlier?
know, I know. Let me speak on what I'm just seeing from the experiment. It shows that supremacy or the system of colonization is in effect. You see what I'm saying? That's what it shows. It shows that it's a
Yeah,
real
definitely.
thing.
They tried
Go
they've
ahead.
tried to put it in effect, but it can't affect us if we don't allow it to. That's my only thing too, because at the time, um, I got the job. I didn't take the job per se, but I was offered the job, I should say rather.
Now,
I was
now,
offered the
now,
job.
can black people do that?
I would think so because you mean what do you mean if I would have marked black on the application? What do you mean?
No, systematically. Flip it in reverse.
Okay.
Systematically. Do black people run these businesses and prevent white people from economic gain?
Yes, they can. They have a right
I'm saying,
to employ who they
said they
want
can't.
to.
I'm saying, do they though?
No, they don't.
If they can, but they don't, why are they not doing it? Because the white
Be-
supremacy is not allowing them to reach that point of success. This is what I'm saying. We got to recognize the system at hand, whether you want to call it white supremacy, the colonizers, whatever the fuck you want to call it. We know it's a system in place that benefits a certain groups of people. You see what I'm
Right.
saying?
Exactly. Definitely.
I
Yeah,
And
don't
we
care
have
that
to
what's
be, but the thing is, brother, we have to be the ones that stand up over that system. You know what I'm saying?
absolutely. You can't
we
stand up
gotta
over it
acknowledge
if
it
you're not
first.
identifying where it is or what it is.
Yeah, I just feel that. I feel like the first thing is first. We gotta acknowledge that there is a system in place. Like I don't play these games to where I'm just ignoring that there is a system at place because when you playing those games, uh, you wind up backing the wrong people and making the wrong decisions based on your personal beliefs without understanding who your enemy is. You see what I mean? Like the whole I asked the question of what should we do with traders in our midst because I understand that these people who are informants and these people who are trying to sabotage us, that's just tools to white supremacy. You know what I mean? Like I understand the whole concept of we don't want to give white people power by saying white supremacy, but at the end of the day, they had a whole history of sabotaging us, and it's just different groups of white people. It's not the same group. It's just different groups of white people. You know what I mean? And it's not about us being inferior towards them. It's about understanding how to mobilize against them. That's all. That's all I gotta say.
So maybe we can deal with a core issue, and that would be where we lack control over the system that we currently find ourselves in. I think that'll squash this whole identity crisis, whether or not you want to identify as this or whether or not you want to identify as that. Because, like y'all said earlier, we still gonna recognize our people, no matter what they identify as, because we
Facts.
understand the behavior. I land right there.
Facts. That's a fact, bro. Totally agree. All right. We got Yannick on here. What's going on, Yannick? Yannick. Yannick on the panel, what's up? Drip check. Drip check, goddamn.
Well, while he trying to get it together, I want to share a little something too, man. Take 1 second. Big Aboriginal
Brown
power.
Wolf. Can you hear me, Brown Wolf? He might be waiting too. Shout out to the new people just came. Go ahead, Black Lotus, you got the flow.
Yeah, when people talk about like the brother said about the OMEC thing and international law, I mean, I have to express this. If I go to the international community to change my name or my status correction type stuff, that means I'm subservient to them. That means they have power over me. We need to create our own everything. You can't create your own everything when you're going to Zeddy and them, whatever we call that shit, or we going to them damn, what they call white supremacy. Because when you go to them to get a name change, you're creating inferiority that they're holding your hand. They're treating you like a baby. So we need power. We need to create our own council, our own international community, and share within ourselves instead of going to some damn pale faces in some robes and some damn suits sitting in a chair and playing dress up as if they have power or authority over us, or if they can ordain or give us some type of title for ourselves. We need to name ourselves and stick to that. That's why we have Aboriginal.
Hey, period.
Yes, somebody got bad background noise. Brown Wolf, what's going on, brother?
I think that's me. I'm on the road right now. It's probably my noise.
What's going on with it, big brother?
What's going on?
Hey, can I speak on the law, bro?
It might be me.
Hey, hold on. Y'all chill, please. I can barely even hear.
Yeah, it might be me with the bad feedback. AP, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can barely hear you. You might want to come off and come back on, big bro. I can barely hear you, bro.
All right, yeah, I'm just gonna come back on. I just had one little question for everybody. That's all.
We can hear you, bro. We can hear you now.
Yeah, you clear now. You clear now.
Okay, what I was gonna say is when y'all speaking about white supremacy and white, are y'all speaking on the skin color, like the two-dimensional color white, or are y'all speaking on like are y'all speaking on specific pale?
We're talking about a social class of people we're talking about a social class. We're talking about a classification of people that people identify as. We're not talking about the literal white, much like people that use the term black. We're not talking about literal black. It's a social class.
Y'all think about a pale skin person, or y'all thinking about
he getting feedback. He getting feedback.
Because I think y'all saying three different things. Like,
yeah, he got bad feedback. Shit. He'll hear it in a minute. Damn, cuz gonna have to come back in a second. Yannick, we got Yannick on here. Your mic ready, bro? Unmute yourself, Yannick.
I am on mute.
I said unmute yourself.
It is on mute.
Oh, what's going on with it? What you got to say? Let the people know what's your name, where you calling from, bro.
All right. Yannick Dorsey is my trade name, and Unique Ibn Bey is my nationality name given.
All right.
Because I want to speak, bro. I think we what a miss.
Hey, your mic fucking up too. Hey, your mic messing up. Get off and come back on. I don't.
You
I'm
can't hear
gonna
me?
kick you off and get you back. No, you're breaking up bad, just like the other fella was. Come off and come back on. Come back on. These niggas with these janky ass phones. Coming on with them flip phones. How the hell they get a flip phone on StreamYards? I'm trying to figure out how they get the flip phone on that on StreamYards. Shit.
They got the button phone.
Yeah, I tend to agree with what Lotus said about the developing our own structures so we don't have to approach these foreign groups about any type of correcting the status. Because as far as I'm concerned, you a foreign group. You can't correct my status. You got to be my own people to be able to clarify what my damn status is. So I agree with Lotus on that.
Yeah, I agree too. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. Hey, this was a good bill too, by the way. Uh, I'm gonna bring y'all some food in here to eat up on. Let me give y'all a little food to eat up on for you pan out. I mean for my brothers. I know y'all like to get it in. The rep show up in a minute. We got Lucky on the panel, and we got
Hello.
King Cass System. Shout out to King Cass System.
Peace, brother. Y'all have a good day, bro. I'm finna bounce. I appreciate you, bro, for having me up, and peace and love to everybody.
Peace and
Can you
blessings,
hear me?
sister.
Can you hear
Enjoy the
me?
rest.
Can you hear me?
Lucky, fix your janky phone, G. Get off that house phone. I don't even know how you rigged up your house phone and get on StreamYards like that. Let me see if we can get Lucky back on here. Lucky, is your phone working now?
Can you hear me? No, it's not. I can't.
That nigga said no.
Audio.
Man, we got to upgrade from these Biden phones. Oh, King Cass, you Chippewa loving
Can you hear
ass.
me? Can you hear me?
You
Can you hear
clown.
me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you, Lucky, Unlucky.
You
What's
hear
going
me?
on? Yeah, I can hear you, brother.
Nothing much. Just I'm getting immune to this show. I identify with a lot of racism, racist ways that white people are using against us. As far as jobs and money and our skin color.
Listen, that's a fact, bro. And we trying to beat this system in every way. So to tell these people that Negroes was here first and we built this shit, that goes against the supremacy system.
Right. But all of my life I was born here. All I know is that they called us black. And they have us identified by a social security card. The last numbers I think is odd numbers or something like that on the social security card. So they if they really want to find out what we are, what color we are, they could go by that, the social security number. But I'm sitting here today and it's sad, that y'all ahead of the game and y'all right. We have to counteract this racism some kind of way. Oh boy, I'm sick.
Hey,
Because
look, I just gotta say I appreciate that, man. Especially because I remember you coming on a few months ago. I remember you coming on a few weeks ago, and the conversation was more combative. You was combating the information, and I'm glad that now you're able to observe it instead of combating it, able to listen, observe it a little bit, and see where we're coming from, and actually understand the information, brother. So I appreciate that. Keep growing and develop. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that.
I see that the deck is stacked against us, and if we feel like calling ourselves something different, I identify with you. I really do. Because it has not been a good ride for me personally. I keep it on me.
I don't think it's hard for you to say, listen, I'm a proud Aboriginal of America. I don't think it's hard. I got some standing behind it. You know what I'm saying? It combats this system.
Yeah.
You see what
Yeah,
I'm
we
saying?
have to I see now we have to be more supportive towards our own kind because we're so used to buying from supporting the white store, the Italians, any other people but our own. It's hard to find our type. It's not hard today, but it was back then. It was hard to find black stores, black businesses. We've been held down for so long, not given the opportunities and the money and things like that. So we've been used to having less and working for somebody else. I praise this show. I like this show, man. Because I'm finally seeing the light. Things
What
ain't
I want you
always.
to do is you sound like an elder, right? And since you coming into this information, all I ask for you to do, that I know you got grandkids and kids and great grandbabies and nieces and nephews, just spread the information to them. Let them know who they are and where they lineage tied to. That's all I ask, big bro.
Right. I get it. I really get it now. They give us the color, they give us the names, which ain't been all good, you know. So it's like I'm really like frustrated now, you know, because I've been given this title and these numbers and these odd numbers, and I'm starting to see all of this now, you know. And
It's all
I
good.
have to, I have
And
to,
a lot of us when we wake up, you know, because you waking up. I call it a waking up. You see what I'm saying? And
right,
and
right,
sometimes when you get shook out of your sleep a little bit unexpectedly, people tend to get angry sometimes. So it's
right,
okay to feel the
right,
anger of not knowing your
right.
lineage and what it took from
Yo,
you. It's
check this
okay.
out. It ain't where you from. It's where you at. We have to adapt to this nonsense. That's all it is nonsense. And I agree with y'all. Thanks for letting me
Right, man.
share that, man.
Peace and blessings to brother Lucky, man. Shout out to Lucky. Hey, anybody else got anything to say? Don P, Smoke Signal, Black Lotus, anybody?
Yeah, what's up, man? Hey, I just want to reiterate again, man. You know, I talk about white supremacy because there's not one leader of it you can just assassinate and then the moral of white supremacy is gone. They operate off of a code of conduct. You know what I mean? You can't kill a code. And that's what the whole purpose of the code is for us. That's why FBA in the first place was formed. So you can't kill the leader. If somebody was to, God forbid, take out Tariq, FBA doesn't die with Tariq because it's a code that we all live by. The code is the leader. If Tariq was ever off code at any point, within all the years he's been on YouTube, and when it comes to black empowerment, he would be finished like every other. But he hasn't been off code, and that's our leader. That's what we subscribe to. Is the code. You can't kill a code. You know what I mean? And I think that's the only way we can combat white supremacy at the end of the day. So I'm not mad. I don't have any emotions towards it. I just understand that I have to get on code with my brothers and sisters. I'm not so quick to beef with another brother or for some petty shit where George Zimmerman is still out living. You know what I mean?
Right. That's a
That's what
fact.
I got into it.
Now that's a fact. So yeah, man, this is about getting on code. The next bill we'll probably do will be getting on code. We about to get ready to get out of here, man. I do want to play a snippet from the FBA conversation from I think it was 3 years ago when it was first being talked about before it was even a thing. I'm gonna get into an old conversation that I did some time ago. I'm gonna let y'all hear a little snippet of that before we get ready to get out of here. But so yeah, before I get ready to play that, I'm gonna take a 60 seconds out so y'all can hit the like button, man. So y'all can thumb up the video, share the live stream, and y'all know how it go, man. Share the live stream.
See, my life has been in motion. I'm a little windy. I'm not giving up yet. If you with me, time to place up your bet. Ain't no turning back, got niggas who ran. When we caught his ass, got caught in that jam. Yeah, you know who I am. Yeah, you know who I am. I can feel it coming. I can feel it coming. Is that feeling in your stomach? You can feel it coming. Is that feeling in your stomach? You can feel it coming. Yeah, you can feel it coming. Fake love, that snake you in your face, love. That snake you in your face, love. I told my brothers we gon' make it, that's how God wrote it. And the snake gon' show his face, that's how God wrote it. Too much fake love, that snake you in your face, love. Your face, love. That snake you in your face, love. I told my brothers we gon' make it, that's how God wrote it. And the snake gon' show his face, that's how God wrote it. Too much fake love, that snake you in your face, love. Your face, love. That snake you in your face, love. I told my brothers we gon' make it, that's how God wrote it. And the snake gon' show his face, that's how God wrote it.
All right. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Shout out to everybody in here. Let's play a little bit of this audio that I have lined up for you guys. Let's see if we can get some shit going.
I pushed back a lot of the documentaries that I already finished because of this situation dealing with ADOS. I feel as though people need to understand a lot more than I thought. and I needed to put that together to break every bit and piece down. So I'm pushing these brand new documentaries out before I push the other ones that I already had finished and scheduled. I'm gonna push these up front, and then the other ones will follow right after that. I just feel as though it's important. I feel as though it's important. Everybody, you know, they want to gravitate towards this money thing, and I mean, whenever we start this conversation, let me know. You know, I'm here. I can't wait to talk about that.
Right. That's one of the number one conversations, and you know what I mean, dealing with this money. But I'm hearing people talk about reparations and whatnot. I mean, what you feel about the reparations talk?
Reparations is only due to a certain few, depending on what they're talking about. Like, I mean, if they're talking about slavery, then everybody would get reparations, including white people. They also did the exact same thing our ancestors did. Everybody was slaves. This was big business.
Now, mind you, this conversation is almost 3 years old. Well, a little bit over 3 years old. FBA wasn't even a thing yet. It was still the ADOS movement. At this time. They hadn't even formed the FBA yet. Tariq Nasheed hadn't broke away with building with Yvette Cornell now.
And that's documented, but so it depends on what route they're going. Like, there's another one that I'm getting ready to release on the black farmers. I think that's where the attention needs to be, the black farmers, and I guess I got to go in it again and let them know what the civil rights is one more time. Break down these homestead acts again. What happened to these land acts? See, I mean, this is way more important than some money. It's beyond money. What is owed to our ancestors is beyond money.
Unlimited, right? Resource, land. You see what I'm saying?
Like, how do you think these white folks got rich? Okay, and it wasn't just off of money. You know, it wasn't just off of money. The land created the money.
Talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, these resources, it came from here. You know, I mean, if Africa was the main resource, you know, where everything is coming from, they wouldn't be focusing over here. They wouldn't have all the attention over here. They would be over there. They'll be over there. But I mean, especially now that a lot of people are bypassing some acts that were rolled out and ruled as law.
Hey, can y'all hear in the chat? Drop them fire emojis in the chat if y'all can hear loud and clear. I want to make sure y'all can hear. So drop them fire emojis if y'all can hear. Just want to make sure y'all good out there.
Not familiar with, but they're trying to lay their head there. They ain't got no place to go. They don't have no place to stay. That's what these when Martin Luther King was saying, when he was referring to the white, what was his words? He said, through an act of Congress, our government was giving away millions of acres of land to throughout the and the West and the Midwest in order to undergird these white peasants from Europe with an economic floor. Right. In other words, that's very important that he said that. Because in other words, government handed these foreigners that were coming in not only a silver platter, it gave them everything. Silverware, nice wine glass. I mean, we you know, I'm just think about that. They got land. What makes you think they're not going to come over here in the millions if they know they could get free land, free food, free healthcare, free welfare? I would come too if I was.
This is an old live stream. Y'all can go check out some of my live streams from 3-4 years ago. A lot of these conversations that's been had now, we had them back then. Viral videos. I think this one is like 60K right here.
What you mean? I ain't got to pay rent here. I could come over there for free. I'm on the way. What you mean? This is what we have to correct. This is what's in law. This is not saying Dane Calloway making this up. This is in law. This is in law. Wrote the laws of the lands, technically not referring to the lands, they were referring to the waters. It's in the writing. Because once you own the waters, the waterways, you own the land. Own the land, own the resources. Beyond money. And we can't just subsidize reparations to thinking that it is money. Like reparations is not cutting a check. Reparations is more broader than that, broader than just cutting a check. It's not even about stability. It's
about restitution. This was when we ushered in shortly the word restitution, which encompasses the word reparation. It engulfs restoring other lands. It restores ownership. It applies for all that.
More about.
I mean, with that being said, man, we better get ready to get out of here. I just want to play a little clip from some shit. These conversations we already had 3-4 years ago. So, before the FBA was even a thing, they wasn't even thought of yet. So shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to my FBA brothers and sisters. All love. Shout out to the American Aborigines in the chat, man. Being Aboriginal in this land is power. So shout out to y'all, man. We out of here. We gone.
Whatever it takes. The alleyway.
Coco, this your season right now.
They won't see me. They won't let me care. I gotta sleep with one eye open, tripping, making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the stirrup. I know the eyes wanna murder. I got a feeling in my stomach, paranoid, yeah. I won't let them care, They won't see me care, I gotta sleep with one eye open, tripping, making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the stirrup. I know the eyes wanna murder. I got a feeling in my stomach, paranoid, yeah. I can't let them care, They won't see me care, I put attention, all of my blood, all of my veins. They started with perky, now that hair right numb his veins. You started with serving, now them drugs drove you insane. Started with dealing, I grew up with killers, they taught me the game. I got some niggas that die behind, and that shit won't never the same. I know some niggas that lie behind, and that bullet had his name. Ain't no reason to cry about, cause that shit won't never change. MTF the 4th and P, my niggas can't get out the game. I gotta sleep with one eye open, tripping, making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the stern. I know the eyes wanna murder. I got a feeling in my stomach, paranoid, yeah. I won't let them care, They won't see me care, I gotta sleep with one eye open, tripping, making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the stern. I know the eyes wanna murder. I got a feeling in my stomach, paranoid, yeah. I can't let them care, They won't see me care,